over balconies at apartment complex. This is happening in Largo, Maryland. Residents at one of the Prince George's County apartment complexes have been tossing dog poop over their balconies, and it's creating quite a mess below on the sidewalks. So residents are unhappy, and apparently there's a lot of people that are trying to move into these apartments and instantly turned off because they're stepping on the sidewalk trying to look at apartments and stepping in poop.
Oh, well, look where you're going.
Right. BB Stokes Davis is a realtor who works at one of the businesses attached to the building, and she says when we have customers coming in, there's dog poop all up and down the sideway. We talked to the resident manager out here about it, and they didn't get it cleaned up. They said they was going to put that guy out there who's above our property, but nothing's been done about it.
Poopy-doo scoop.
Davis says residents have been dumping dog poop over their balconies, and it's landing on the awnings and ultimately on the sidewalks. It was all down doors and everything, she said. I'd go in the front door because I'm not going to put my hands on dog poop.
Scoop-dee-dee-whoop.
We're told this is a reoccurring issue over the last year. The resident manager told their local Fox station tenants have been warned not to dump their dog feces over the balcony.
Oh, have they?
When it happens, they say the resident management team has cleaned up the problem. Well, not really.
Poop.
Because it's still happening.
I mean, it's got to be one person. It's not a movement.
Right.
Well, I mean, it is a movement. Yeah, thank you. For someone.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not like the entire apartment complex is banding together and be like, we just throw your poop over the balcony and onto the awning.
Where it's happening, put a deer camera up.
It's that easy, man.
Yeah.
Find out who done it. And they'd be like, hey, pick up your crap.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's gnarly, dude.
Yeah.
I actually, I will forgive the occasional, I'm not picking up dog poop when you're walking your dog or whatever, right?
Right.
Overall, you should.
Absolutely.
But you forget a bag, you're in a rush, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this is gnarly, dude. Like, you're deliberately, intentionally making it someone else's problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just being lazy.
Yeah.
No, you aren't being lazy. You are taking energy and throwing it. You're not picking it up.
Right.
You're going out of your way, opening a door, a window, and heaving feces through it.
Well, I think what's probably they're just letting their dog go on their own balcony, and they don't want to be in on their balcony because that's where they like to go sit and enjoy their coffee or whatever. So they just throw it off their balcony.
I kind of interpreted that there was somebody throwing it, because if it was on the balcony, I feel like they could narrow it down to like
just
a few.
Mm-hmm.
And that's possible too. You would think that they would go knocking on the doors like, hey, I know you got a dog in here.
There's no dog.
I just sit there, make my maintenance guy sit there and film it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're doing today.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to catch the poop tosser.
Yeah.
That's your job today, Franklin.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to be the one who's going to be out there all day just waiting for someone to heave.
Right.
Just heave crap over the edge and get them.
Right.
So wait, I don't have to go mow lawns or paint apartments or go into someone's apartment to fix a water heater, nothing like that? Nope. You're just okay.
Yeah. Except if you've never been on a stakeout.
Oh, my God.
It sucks.
It'd be brutal.
You're like,
right?
Sorry.
And by that time, you dozed off. Somebody's done throwing turds back on the balcony, the overhang and whatever. You missed your opportunity. God damn it. I'll be back out here tomorrow to try to catch them. Walt Disney World employee arrested for upskirt videos. So there's a dude, he's 26, his name's Jorge Vega, and he works at the Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities at the Star Wars Galaxy Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Apparently, this cat was caught by another employee taking videos up the skirt of a young 18-year-old woman who was there shopping for lightsabers with her boyfriend. Yeah, he got a girlfriend. Anyhow, that's a different story. So the employee goes and tells the manager calls the cops come out and they talk to Jorge, and Jorge's like, yeah, man, I've been doing this for like 6 years. I've got like over 500 videos on my phone. Here, you want to see some? And he ends up sharing some of the videos with the police. Anyhow, the woman, the 18-year-old woman, had no idea she had been filmed. Old Jorge told the police that he does this because they're hard to find on the internet and that
Oh my
he uses
goodness.
them for gratification.
Hey, he is an entrepreneur.
Yes, he's helping out. He's providing a service.
At Disney, we want go-getters.
Yeah.
Solving problems.
Yeah. Well, Jorge got popped for video voyeurism. That's what he's in trouble
This
for.
story feels familiar. I know it's not the same story, but I feel like we've read a story before about somebody doing this, but maybe it was some other child predator thing or something, but it was like a janitor or somebody in the back.
They say here's not the first time this has happened at the Disney World or whatever. It says back in 2018, Eric King, a Walt Disney World cast member, was caught using his phone in an employee-only men's room at Disney's Animal Kingdom and was charged with video voyeurism. Another member said that he was at the urinal when he noticed that Mr. King was filming him under the nearby bathroom stall.
I'm kicking somebody.
Oh, for
No doubt.
sure. And then here's a fun one. Yambao Zhang, a Chinese national. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce his name. He pleaded guilty to voyeurism in 2014 after he took pictures of girls between the ages of 4 and 7
Oh.
while he was vacationing at the Magic Kingdom.
Listen, I'm sure the Disney jail's awesome.
Yeah.
Because that's where I would be going because I am assaulting an MFer.
In
No
a
doubt.
heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I don't know if they're like, let's say I'm at the urinal, like taking a whiz, and I look down and there's a phone filming me. I'm just going to piss on the phone.
Yeah, my aim's going to get really
for
bad really
sure.
quick.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if I find out that you were videoing my little girls, that's a different story.
Cattle with tongues missing found in Texas. It's a bizarre story where authorities are investigating the mysterious deaths of about a half dozen cattle, and they were found with their tongues cut out. Ranchers in Madison County are looking, that's about 100 miles north of Houston. They said they found mutilated remains of 6-year-old longhorn cross cow last week with their tongue cleanly cut and removed. Sheriff's office said it learned about five similar cases in the neighboring counties. There's no signs of struggle. There's no footprints. There's no tracks. And grass around the carcasses wasn't disturbed.
Oh, well, then it had to be aliens then.
Well, of course.
Of course. I don't know, man. They say cow tongue's pretty good. So, I mean, maybe the aliens have got, a new taco recipe or something. They're like, hey, we need.
Is it chunga? Is that what
we need
chungura?
fresh cow
I
tongue.
forget what it's called, but yeah, cow tongue tacos are yummy, yummy,
Yeah.
yummy. I like a good tongue taco. All right, we've got tickets to our 50th Langua, that's what it is.
Langua.
Tickets to our 50th anniversary concert. We'll give those away coming up very soon.
Tulsa's morning show, the Big Mad Morning Show. The assault continues next.
Especially if you're like, hey, come over tonight, we're having pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza feels like there's no cleaning happening.
Yeah, it's okay to have your laundry still piled up on the back of the couch from like 4 days.
No.
You should at least pick it up and throw it on your bed.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a place to sit.
Right. Just move the panties over. It'll be fine.
It's always like, I've gone and I stopped getting in the car with this person when I went to get in their car and they're like, hold on. And they had to like unload a bunch of stuff from the seat and the floorboard into the back seat so I could sit down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you invited me to get in your car
You should have had that fixed up beforehand.
or
Right.
just don't invite me into your car.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Right? If you don't have a place for me to sit, what are you doing inviting me over?
I just like the company.
I'm not a charity. Yeah. So that would be, I'm judging food. What do you judge? What's your judge when you go to someone's house? If it's like
Cleanliness.
cleanliness.
Mhm.
Probably. Yeah. Especially if you're having a dinner party.
Yeah, I might do that too.
Uh-huh.
Gimpy?
Definitely cleanliness. Now, it doesn't have to be sparkling like you walk in and everything's ting, 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 ting. No. But if you're inviting people over, dinner party, or just to hang out and have a smoke sesh, you might want to just kind of pick up the bulk of
Smoke
things
sesh.
first.
You're so
right?
bougie. Like,
Yeah.
You're going over get high, and you're like, man, the house was so dirty.
Yeah.
So dirty.
Well, yeah, if you gotta, you can't put your soda down or your water down on the table because it's littered with empty cans. then
Right.
yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
talking about, man.
Yeah.
Go get a damn trash bag,
But if,
clear off the tables, and we'll be fine. You'll be
yes.
fi- I'm not saying you have to run the vacuum.
Right.
All right. Just don't make people come in and be like, oh God. Oh God. And furthermore, Susan, if it smells a little bit, just spray something. Just spray something in the air. You don't want to walk into somebody's house and get hit with a brick wall of stank. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be careful too. Don't go crazy, right? If you're unloading half a can of Lysol,
right. You're
Oh,
obviously
gross.
Covering up a
something up.
smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Which will reveal itself in a
In
little
due
bit.
time.
Yes.
It's not permanent.
It smells like wildflowers and ass
Yeah. Is it Febreze?
Mhm.
and mold.
Febreze is literally advertised to cover up stink,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
which means you have a problem if there's stink in the
Yeah.
house. What about a toilet bowl that's got a pink ring in it?
I'm not judging that.
Gross.
It's pink mold.
Gross.
Yeah.
It's mold
Gross.
Yeah.
in the toilet bowl.
Yeah. That's okay.
Ugh.
Now, I mean, there's a difference between is there sitting urine or like, Mr. Hanky, is he taking
Skid
a little
marks.
swim right there?
There's some rubbing is racing.
Ugh.
Right. Like,
Gross.
previous person was a freckler. I get what you're talking about. Yeah. Dude, that happens, bro. That happens in everybody's house. I'm hoping that you would, at least go in there and take that little brush and whirl around a little
Yeah,
bit.
but you didn't.
You didn't exactly. But I mean, it is what it is. Everybody poops. Everybody has that, whatever you may need a knife for. It's okay.
Bidet, dude. Bidet. Bidet.
Right. I get it. That cleans the skid marks off of your end, but I mean, this is down on the porcelain. I don't think it works like that.
Eat some fiber. What's the strangest type of bird that you'd be willing to eat, such as a shoebill stork?
Hmm.
You know what a shoebill stork is, Lindsay?
No.
Look it up.
mean,
Look up shoebill stork. Shoebill stork. It will, if I remember correctly, this is a very bizarre looking bird. It almost looks human-like.
Giant honking
It
schnoz.
is terrifying.
Yeah.
It will haunt you in your nightmares. If I remember right, it makes a horrendous sound.
Yeah.
A very loud noise. It's not like a beautiful
Yeah,
chirping
yeah.
or anything. It's a very loud noise.
mm-hmm.
The shoebill stork. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your pick?
Probably a. What's the one? What are the We call him. My husband calls it a Harry Truman, and that's not what its real name. We see,
Dropping bombs?
huh?
Is it just dropping bombs everywhere it
No,
flies?
it's the. Now I can't even think of the real name of it. You see them all a blue herring. Is that what it is?
Blue herring.
What? Isn't that a fish?
See them all the time on the.
So it's the ones you see in the ponds, and they got the long
Yes,
legs and stuff like that.
yes.
Yeah.
Hurrah.
The heron, yes,
Great blue heron.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity.
Gimpy?
Can I say big?
Huh?
Big?
Bird.
Big bird. Okay.
Oh,
No. If we're going like a legit bird,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the flamingo.
Yeah. That's where I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see if it tastes like shrimp.
Yeah. Flamingo or
That's
roadrunner.
true.
One of the two.
Yeah. Why not? That sounds fine. Penguin. I'm down for some penguin.
Oh, yeah. Some fricasseed penguin.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about it getting, it's cold. It's right there on the ice.
Right.
Who doesn't? Some good penguin. Yum. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS, and then what you want to say to 82945. Coming up, we've got our tickets to our 50th anniversary concert. Plus, we're going to do best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? But first, we got to see what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
On Friday, the NFL suspended 5 players, 4 from the Detroit Lions, for violations of the league's gambling policy. Jameson Williams and Stanley Berryhill will each be forced to sit out 6 games to start the upcoming season. Quintez Cephas, CJ Moore, and Shaka Toney, who plays for the Washington Commanders, were each suspended indefinitely and will be able to apply for reinstatement once the 2023 season comes to a close. According to the NFL, there was no evidence indicating inside information was used or that any game was compromised in any way. The NFL's gambling policy states that players can't engage in any form of gambling in any club or league facility or venue, including the practice facility. After the suspensions were announced, the Lions released Cephas and Moore.
I don't. So were they gambling on games? Like NFL games?
I'm not sure, but does that mean if they have, if it's a zero policy on gambling, can they not even gamble on other sports?
So this says, according to Ariel Marove, he says that NFL players are allowed to place bets on non-NFL games like the NBA, the UFC, and college. They are prohibited to do it while at an NFL facility, including the locker room, a team flight, the team hotel.
So it must have been because they specify the practice facility. So maybe that's where they were.
But that's so stupid.
It is dumb.
What does it matter if they make a wager on their phone, on their cell plan, while they're standing
in
a parking lot of the practice facility? What's the matter?
It shouldn't.
Is it a bad look? I get betting on their games, on NFL games. That probably isn't okay.
On their own game.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
yeah.
on any
any
NFL
game.
Right? Because they could know the guy on the other team.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. But if it's a different sport, baseball, basketball, lacrosse, whatever.
Yeah.
Cliff
I
diving.
actually don't care if they gamble on NFL. If they want to jeopardize their careers and take a fall, that's on them.
Right.
It would be a hell of a controversy if they did. You work that hard and then you're just going to mess it up?
Right.
Yeah. 3 teams are on the brink of elimination in the NBA playoffs. The Timberwolves avoided a 4-game sweep by pulling out a 114-108 overtime win over the Denver Nuggets in Minneapolis. The Knicks edged closer to a series win after defeating the Cavaliers 102-93 to take a 3-1 series lead. The Celtics are in a similar position after knocking off the Atlanta Hawks 129-121 to take a 3-1 lead. The defending NBA champions, Warriors, responded with another big win, defeating the Sacramento Kings 126-125 to even the series at 2 games apiece. The NBA playoffs continue today with the Lakers hosting the Memphis Grizzlies for Game 4 and the Milwaukee Bucks visiting the Heat for Game 4. Los Angeles and Miami both lead their respective series 2-1.
I was watching that. I was thinking Steph Curry, easily you could make an argue one of the best basketball players of all time, right?
Yeah.
He is a stud. And him and Draymond Green, what an awesome duo. Green showed up last night. But here you've got one of the best basketball players of all time. And you see Steph Curry dribbling. He gets double teamed, gets pressured, right? And calls a timeout. And they don't have a timeout.
Uh-oh.
So even at that level, but like the pinnacle of this guy as he's a stud. Even he's like, doesn't know how many who's got timeouts. And you're like, damn, even that good. And he had a massive mistake, and it could have cost him. It didn't, but it was awesome.
That's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay at 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite.
Everything.
Right.
I worked there after college, and their 5-cheese pasta, adding chicken to it, was so good.
I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The
you can draw.
cannoli. Yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli. With the Alfredo and the chicken and stuff. So good there.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
That's the only Italian food that I really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one. Pizza.
I've said it before, and you all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza. That's going to be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
Really?
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Well, Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice short
food.
short rib braised ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in a jar.
So it's just no. So good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
I like Young Sheldon way more than the Big Bang Theory.
If you ever say that again, I'm going to call the HR department.
Why? Big Bang Theory is a giant turd.
That's the most offensive thing I think I've ever heard you say.
Young Sheldon it's not the greatest, but it's better than Big Bang Theory.
I am so disappointed in you right now. You've done some things that are pretty crazy, and this might be the most disappointing thing I've ever heard you say.
He was the executive producer of Cowboys and Aliens.
I feel like you and I run in succession on a lot of things, but this Young Sheldon thing has got me twisted.
Have you ever watched an episode?
I've watched enough to go, no.
If I gun to my head, you got to choose one, Young Sheldon or Big Bang Theory. I'm going to choose Young Sheldon, man.
No, I'm still a no. I'll pick Big Bang.
Just shoot. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the girl. She's so hot.
Yeah, but
Kaylee Cuoco.
But everything else about that show negates her hotness.
I can turn it down.
It doesn't matter. You still got all those other dorks.
Matter.
David from Roseanne and, the old Sheldon. And I'm just like, yeah.
Her and David are the best characters on that show.
I'll give you that. But for the most part, the show is.
By the way, there's some people right now just so twisted up. I didn't pick the Bazing guy or whatever.
Whatever
I don't even know his name.
I never watched either one of those.
I find that shocking.
Yeah. I pick Roseanne over either one of those.
I figured you would be in that market there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think you're off a couple decades with Roseanne.
No, or the Connors. I'll watch the Connors over.
Again,
either
I think the
one.
Connors came way late, like almost at the very end
Oh,
Yeah.
the Big Bang?
of Big Bang. Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one that she was on with John Ritter.
Yeah.
Parents?
No.
Rules dating my teenage
Yes,
daughter, something
yes.
like that. 16
Nice.
rules to dating my teenage daughter
Yes.
or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Had Peggy Bundy in it as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know that show either.
Yeah, that one was good. Because she played the blonde daughter that you like from
Yeah.
Big Bang. She played his daughter on that.
8 Simple Rules was the
Yes,
name
that
of
was
it.
it.
He
And,
doubled it.
check it. That was a good
16.
series. That was a good
36
series.
rules.
It was.
How many rules you need to date your teenage daughter
Yeah.
is, arbitrary. This
Infinite.
guy needed 8. I need like 32.
8. What were the rules of the show for dating the
I
daughter?
don't think they ever said.
I don't either.
Oh, come
I
on.
don't think they ever said.
Come on.
No, I don't think they ever did.
There had to have been. There had to have been rules, right?
Surely. All right. Here we go. All right.
That you found it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it had to have been
There
widely
actually
known.
were.
There's a wiki here, so give me just a minute
Okay.
because it says something like bring her home before midnight or something like that.
To me, if you name a show that, it's gotta. There better be at some point you play that out,
Mm.
right? You know,
Right.
Smallville, the TV show Smallville took place
All right.
in Smallville, right?
Sure.
Roseanne, it was about Roseanne,
Mm.
right? They
So-
had to rename it the Connors because Roseanne wasn't on it anymore.
right.
Like, you can't get in here, you racist bitch. All right, so here's the rules. 8 simple rules for dating my teenage daughter.
From the show.
From the show.
Okay.
Use your hands on my daughter and you'll lose them after. That's rule number 1.
John Ritter is hardly that guy.
Right?
Really.
He might be the nicest character ever on any show, ever.
But that's what they want us to believe.
I think only
What?
one time he played a character that was really bad, evil.
Okay.
He mostly was the good golly gee guy.
Wow, even on Problem Child, he was
Yeah.
a good.
Yeah.
Was.
He was like, he could have been on SNL. Like he was what do they call it when a comedian, they like hurt themselves and stuff like that? He's that type of comedian.
Okay. Like Chris Farley was,
Chris
where
Farley,
he'd fall over on tables and it wouldn't bother him any at all.
Yeah.
But that's what they want you to believe. Maybe deep down inside, he's really just a mean
Sure,
asshole.
who he is off screen is,
Yeah.
but we're talking about the character.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. The character is like, oh, we're such a nice guy or whatever, 99% of the time. But you get that 1% that's never shown.
But
you know,
it's kind of like when Kevin Hart threatens you, you go, come on, man.
Yeah.
You don't know he's this badass muscle guy.
Right.
Right?
All right. So number 2, you make her cry, I make you cry.
Again, not on brand with John Ritter.
Number 3, safe sex is a myth. Anything you try will be hazardous to your health.
That's just bad parenting. That's just, I mean, they're going to have sex, right? So now you're turning them away from practicing safe sex.
Right now they're going to do it just to spite you, Dad.
Well, it's not safe.
He's going to raw dog it just to spite your dad.
God, that word is so awesome. I hate it and love it at the same time.
All right. So number 4, you're looking at bring her home late. There's no next date. Notice how everything rhymes with these rules.
That's on John Ritter brand.
Yeah. Number 5, if you pull into my driveway and honk, you better be dropping off a package because you're sure not picking up anything else.
Who delivers stuff to your house? Who delivers stuff in honks?
I don't know.
No one,
Usually they
UPS?
knock on the
No,
door,
no one.
ring a doorbell.
For us,
something like
DoorDash?
Right.
Domino's in the time? Like that? No, that's not a
Sure.
thing.
that. It says alternative rule number 5, only delivery men honk, dates ring the doorbell once. That was his alternative to the number 5.
Okay.
Honking.
Oh, okay.
All right, so number 6, no complaining while you're waiting for her. If you're bored, change my oil. Change, not check.
Mm.
I don't know. If you know who John Ritter was, he might mean
You know, he
Something
did play a
completely
little
different.
fruity fruit on Three's Company.
Word?
At least to Mr. Furley, Mr. Roper. He
They
was
believed
Right,
he was.
exactly.
Yeah. Number 7, if your pants hang off your hips, I'll gladly secure them with my staple gun.
Mm.
What
Yes.
a dick.
assault.
Right.
Yeah.
Ka-doom, ka-doom.
Again, not on brand with
Nope,
John Ritter.
not at all.
And lastly, here, number 8 for 8 simple rules of dating my teenage daughter. Dates must be in crowded public places. You want romance.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. Qualifying people for CMall 2023. Curtis King of Okmulgee just got qualified. You like to be qualified like Curtis? Make sure you're listening for that cue. Another chance coming up very soon. Every hour brought to you by Shiner Bach. CMall 2023. A chance to see every concert KMOD is a part of. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. This Bed Bath & Beyond closure is happening so fast. They're going to stop accepting gift cards in 2 weeks on May 8th. And if you're registered through Bed Bath & Beyond, they're going to reach out to you and transfer everything to a competitor's service.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning, Corbin. Join us tonight for our official pre-party for the 50th anniversary concert. We're doing it at the arena across the street from the BOK Center. Your chance to win tickets and swag and beers and stuff like that. Come by, say hi.
Celebrating 50 years as your rock station. We'll give some tickets away to that very soon. But right now, it's time for best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? What's the best and worst, Lindsay?
I'll start with the worst. Saturday morning, I thought we were running late for my youngest's lacrosse game. So we ended up getting there a half hour early. I didn't realize that there was a little bit of a time change. And we watched one of the other competitors' games, and it was fun. It was really cold, though. So thankfully, we had a couple of extra blankets in the car. But before his game started, he was warming up on the field. And the worst part was he got into a tiff with one of his own teammates.
A tiff.
Yep. And before his game even started, he was ejected from his game. So he did
How do you
not
get
to
ejected from your
play
own team?
because he got into a fight with one of his teammates. So he did not get to play in his game.
Say more about that. What is a fight? Like they threw punches at each other?
Yeah, he hit one of his players in the back. with his stick.
Intentionally.
Yeah, intentionally. And I
Over, what do you think it'd be? Over what?
Oh, it had to be Gatorade color. Like I wanted the blue, but you took the blue. And now what's the left is this crappy white that nobody really likes.
I'm going to go with no, I want that spot in line.
Nope. Apparently, the one kid was saying something to Leo and he was making annoying noises or something, and it was getting under Leo's skin, and he told him, would you please stop? I asked you nicely, please stop. And he wouldn't quit. And so that's when he hit him. And so the coach saw it and he was like, Leo, get over here. And he ejected him from the game.
So did you stay or did you leave?
We stayed and watched the game. I made him watch the game.
Hell yeah.
Like, you have to support your team. And I mean, they did end up hugging it out. And Leo apologized to his teammate and he accepted his apology. They hugged it out. Boys will be boys, whatever. But, I told him that's not cool. And
Is there a further punishment at home?
I mean, we had a talking to, and I said, dude, if someone's getting on your skin, like your coach said, when something like that's happening, you cannot react like that. You have to go to your coach.
Sure. Was there a further punishment after that?
No, there wasn't. There wasn't. Because you know what? I feel like we've been stressed at home lately, like with the whole figuring out moving situations and seriously. And
Okay.
I think it's rubbing off on them a little bit.
Sure.
And they've had their testing going on, their yearly state tests going on. So they've been feeling the stress of that.
Okay.
And so, now that that's over, thank God, I think things are going to finally calm down. But otherwise, it was a fabulous weekend. A Saturday night was amazing. I must say that I got to spend more quality time. I call it quality time with Gimpy's brother, Scott. I got to meet him more, have some genuine conversations with him. I absolutely adore him. I love him. I think he is just such a great guy. I can see why you speak so highly of him all the time. Aside from being your brother, he's just a awesome dude.
It's
Gimpy.
all fake.
Yeah, right.
So,
No, he's awesome.
He is awesome, but you love everyone.
That is a true statement.
But I just enjoyed my
I
conversation with
know.
him so much.
He's awesome.
He's just such a stellar dude.
Yes.
And I
But
don't love everyone.
you meet people that I already know aren't good people, and you're like, they're awesome. And then later you're like, no, they're not awesome. Like,
See?
you love,
It might take me a minute to find out.
you love everybody.
I give everyone a chance. Until
Yeah, I
they
don't.
do me wrong.
Character's fate, man. Like, you know who people are pretty fast.
But okay, the best part,
Okay.
the very, very, very best part. I'm on cloud 9.
I can't believe you've contained this long. I think I already know.
I know. Dude, we put our house up for sale on Saturday.
Oh, do you have a house?
We did put an offer in on Wednesday night on a house, and it was accepted on Thursday. Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a long process.
Yes. On Saturday, we put our house up on the market, and we have a sale pending already.
Wow. That's great.
15 minutes it took.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy how
Amazing.
how much anxiety there is with all that? And then it happens and you're like, oh, thank God we're not going to have 2 mortgages.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Did you get everything you wanted in your new house?
Except for the pool. However, since the backyard is very, very small, so we have looked into pricing for next season. We will put in a smaller version. So just something to keep us cool.
So you're going to go all summer without a pool.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, I mean, we don't close until June, so we can still use ours for a little bit, at least a month. But I figure we're going to be so busy.
Yeah, you're not going to have time.
We're going to be so busy this summer, getting everything into the new house that we won't have time to enjoy a pool
I'm just saying, you are self-admitted a pool lover.
I am.
And you're going to go a whole season without a pool.
For sure. What's one season? I'll make it one season.
Said the new drug addict.
Right.
What's one hit?
Yeah, right. One season.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm sure that's a giant stress relief to bring on a new stress.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? Gimpy, what's the best and what's the worst?
Oh, I guess the best part would have been smoking guns Saturday night. It's pretty cool. Always gathering with listeners and friends and hanging out and watching locals beat the hell out of each other. It was a good time. Stuck around till right after the girl fight, chick fight, and then bounced out after that. You know,
Dude, the main event was awesome.
Pretty
Yeah, it
solid.
was.
Worst part of the weekend, had plans to hang out with somebody Friday night, but they bailed out on me last minute. You know, I was like, well, that sucks. So I was like, all right, well, this gives me an opportunity to go to Wagner, support some friends, you know, that are doing some work down there. So I was like, called a buddy. I already started drinking whiskey, so I didn't feel like really driving from my house to Wagner. So I called a friend. Hey, are you guys already on your way to Wagner? Yeah. Damn it. All right, fine. So I ended up just going to bed early on a Friday
So you didn't
night.
do anything.
Yeah, ain't much nothing. Woke up at like 4 o'clock Saturday morning. I was like, all right, well, okay, cool. This is all right.
What's the best part of your weekend and the worst part of your weekend? 918-460-KMOD. Or you can text it. A lot of people do that. BMMS and whatever that is to 82945. Best part of the weekend. Doing Smoking Guns was awesome. And working with Jimmy Flick, a longtime listener, also a UFC fighter. That was fun. And seeing those guys, it was awesome. And I got home at like almost midnight, so that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And so it was cool. The worst part of the weekend was on Friday. I went to the field trip with my kid, and coming back, my wife was going to pick up our other child, and she calls me and goes, "Hey, I was just in a wreck."
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
And I was like, "Okay," because listen, those are things, right? The only thing that matters is if they're okay. And she's like, "We're fine. We got hit at a 4-way stop. Somebody didn't stop behind us. They even admitted they looked down,
Mm-hmm.
and then next thing you know, they hit us." And I was like, "Okay." My wife's car has been in the shop 4 or 5 times.
Mhm.
A deer hit it. We took hail damage. Someone else hit it. Like, this car has been through the ringer. And so I was like, "Okay, did you call the police?" No, because nobody was injured. He seemed to be in a hurry. And I was like, then you should have for sure called the police
Mm-hmm.
if he's in a hurry, because something ain't right on that.
Right.
Well, he said he was on his way to the hospital. Then get an ambulance.
Right.
And so, whatever. I get it. Anxious moment. Your kid's in there, car wreck.
Yeah.
No way to think clearly in those moments. And so I was like, okay. But she got a picture of the guy's driver's license and all that good stuff. And so now we have to deal with and I'm one of those people, like, I don't wait for the insurance company.
Mhm.
Like, I'm already put the balls in motion
Yeah.
to get it repaired,
Yeah.
because that is a long process.
For sure.
And it's not bad. It's not bad damage.
Mhm.
It's still drivable. None of the airbags deployed.
That's
She
good.
drives a BMW, and it was like, "You've been in a wreck." Yeah, thanks.
Thank
Feels a
you.
little late. I don't know what a pop-up is going to. Oh, you don't say.
Is that what that was?
Best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? Here's a text. Best part, I went to a truck show in North Carolina.
Wow.
Wow. Had a blast. Worst part, had to come home and go back to work. I would think the drive
Yeah.
would be the worst part. Best, relaxing weekend with great weather. Worst, our 2 small dogs got in a pooping competition in their crate one night, had to clean it out with a pressure washer. Now my search history has the phrase, "Can you get pink eye from dog poop?" Spoiler, rarely.
That's comforting to know.
Yeah, that is another reason I don't want dogs.
Right.
Right.
Cleaning up feces or heaving it over a balcony. I don't want any of that smoke. Best part of the weekend was my wife and a child left me completely alone to do whatever I wanted.
Ooh.
Grilled steaks,
Ooh.
worked on the car,
What?
TV to myself.
Uh-huh.
Worst part is I had pink eye. Worth it. They didn't leave you to do whatever they wanted.
Right.
Whatever you wanted. They didn't want pink eye, man.
They left
Right.
you in quarantine, bro.
Yeah, they didn't want to be around you. That's not I guess, silver lining, but
Mm-hmm.
And if he can't get it from dog poop, how did he get the pink eye?
oh, farting on pillows.
Uh-huh. Right.
Farting on pillows for sure. I'm trying to think if I've ever had pink eye. I don't think I have.
Not that I know of. I feel pink eye is something you would know that you've had it before.
I believe I had it one time when the twins were infants.
Now my eyes have been pink, like a lot
Yeah.
over the years.
Recently, too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's not the same.
I
no.
don't think that needed to be treated by a physician.
No.
I'm sorry. That was caused by a physician.
Right.
I don't think it needed to be treated by a physician. To me, pink eye, it's one of those things you're like, how do you get pink eye?
Right.
Yeah.
Not washing your hands, I would think, would be the most common reason.
That would make sense. Yep. Go to the bathroom, you're in a hurry. Oh, my eye itches. And now it's weeping.
Yeah.
And it's gooped shut.
I would think there'd be more of than just, I didn't wash my hands. Like, you got it on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't, you're just dirty.
You're nasty.
Right. If it's from a bathroom scenario.
Of
Right.
course.
But if someone else didn't wash their hands and then they touch the doorknob, you've washed your hands, you grab the doorknob, and then you're like, oh, that's a good movie. Then, yeah, I could totally see that is a thing that could happen for sure. All right, we've got tickets to our 50th anniversary concert, Shinedown 3 Days Grace at the BOK Center tonight. Our pre-party, 5 to 7 at the arena right across the street from the BOK Center. Last chance for tickets. We've got swag from Budweiser. We got specials. We got an autographed guitar we're going to give away, but you have to stop by to get a chance at any of that. So we'll see you at the arena 5 to 7 right across from the BOK Center tonight for our 50th anniversary concert, and we'll give those tickets away when we come back.
Tulsa's morning.
And you multiply, let's just take half those people have bubble guts.
Yeah.
And if that feel like I'm being dramatic, let's just go with a quarter.
Mhm.
Right. Just because they got the Bee Gees doesn't mean that they're pooping in the pool, but they be tooting it up. They be making their own jacuzzi, and that's leaving particles
Yeah.
floating around.
Not everybody has a bidet.
And as you go under the water, you splash it all out. You got some in your mouth.
Right? Yeah.
Look, I'm a fountain.
Or it's in your beard, and then you go to eat some of those delicious French fries.
Yeah. You got it on your hands. You start licking your fingers afterwards.
Gross. I love useless information.
Oh, yeah.
I'm constantly on the hunt for it, and the amount of useless things I cultivate and put to the side and never use is endless. And then when it's time to recall it, I'm like, I know a thing. So these are some of those. I don't know. Have you ever been to the park and fed the ducks or the geese or whatever?
Yeah.
What do you take?
Bread, crackers,
Bread,
or
right?
whatever. Yeah, whatever's left over in the pantry about to expire.
Sour cream and onion chips or bugles or whatever.
Well, apparently giving bread to ducks is really bad for them because it ruins their digestive system.
Yeah.
So you're killing ducks.
Like, I don't care.
So now when you go and you see that, just laugh that those people are killing ducks. So this one's a little deep, so bear with me. Control, Shift, and T will restore an accidentally closed tab. So if you've ever been on your computer and a tab closes, Control, Shift, and T will bring that tab back.
Well, that's fun.
And Control, Alt, Shift, T will bring back a window you accidentally closed.
Well, that's a lot to be pressing at one time.
For you, yes.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, that's fun to know because there's been plenty of times that I'll be buzzing around and accidentally hit the X button and it closes everything. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I got to start all over again. Okay. Control Shift T.
Yeah. I mean, if you close the program, you're probably out of luck. But this one I learned not too long ago. But antiperspirant and deodorant are not the same thing. Antiperspirant stops you from sweating. Deodorant covers up the smell of sweating.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer?
I don't wear it.
At all?
Right.
You Mr. Stinky Pits all day, every day, huh?
I mean, I don't stink.
Okay. I guess it helps to do
I
something.
don't stink.
Even after when you're rolling around.
No, I mean, if I'm like doing yard work or,
right.
Sweating it up, yes, of course.
I have to put deodorant on every day. And if I don't, because there's been times that I forget, I've had to go and buy a small little travel size stick for here because I'm like, I feel weird. I feel weird without any on. And then I feel like I can smell
Mhm.
Do you shave your armpit hair?
I trim. I don't shave.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't shave bald down like a lady or whatever. But yeah, I knock that
Some.
stuff down. But yeah, that seems to be a trend nowadays where ladies are letting it grow out like man length armpit hairs and like dyeing it or just letting it be.
Dyeing it.
And I find that the most disgusting thing ever.
I don't think that that's common.
I don't think it is either. I think maybe it's like a handful of people.
Okay.
Some people are doing it. I didn't learn until like in my 40s to trim my armpit hair.
Oh, absolutely. You have to. You get all poking out like you got buckwheat in a headlock.
No one ever told me.
Or shaved down yonder.
I've talked about that.
Trim that as well. You stinking ass.
Yeah, it looks like an
musty
abandoned house. Yeah. Humans do use 100% of your brain.
What? I mean,
It's a myth that you use only 10%. Your brain can't handle walking and using your smartphone at the same time.
You can't handle walking, and I do it every day.
Your brain can't handle walking and using your smartphone at the same time. This says each activity uses the same cognitive functions. So you can be walking along, looking at Twitter, and not notice that the moving object coming toward you is a car.
Yeah, because you got your face buried in the phone. Pay attention. Look up every now and
But you
again.
can talk on the phone
Yeah.
and do it, right?
If you're looking ahead.
The one who walks straight into a passerby because we're busy texting. Try not to be that person because your brain can't handle it.
I guess it makes sense. I always chalked it up to just dirt not looking, not paying attention because you're busy looking at your phone.
Yeah, you're not paying attention because you can't.
Right.
Remember the limits of 3 in human endurance. You can go 3 minutes without air, 3 hours in extreme conditions without shelter, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. Assuming you're breathing, then your priorities in a survival situation are shelter, water, food, in that order.
Interesting.
Which explains why Naked and Afraid is only 21 days.
Yeah.
Because you might be doing a 21-day starvation. Have you watched some of those specials about people that do deep water diving and how long they hold their air?
Well, I know they can hold it for a damn long time. Very impressive.
It's crazy. And then the whole like they can't come to the surface too fast type of thing because they'll die.
Right.
I try to do sports that don't involve a chance of me dying. That's just me being a beta. I just try not to do that type of thing. Right.
Hold your breath and dive to the bottom of the ocean.
I think we all know this one. You can't extinguish an oil fire with water.
No.
Yeah, about that.
Use a blanket or flour or something. This one's awesome. Any month that begins on a Sunday will have a Friday the 13th.
Okay, I've heard that before. Yeah.
World War I officially ended on October 3rd, 2010. World War I officially ended on October 3rd, 2010. So next time you're at the bar trying to strung up some conversation, let that be one for you. Apparently, that was the day Germany paid its final reparations under the Treaty of Versailles.
Wow. And we had a whole nother world war after that. It was like,
I'm still trying to do this one.
For real,
Yeah.
That Germany, man, just like a bunch of plates in the air.
All right.
Naked Las Vegas man ran through hotel's swinging toilet plunger. So this happened in Des Moines, Iowa. Traven Wayne Hill, he's 21 years old. He's accused of running naked through this hotel wielding a toilet plunger and pulling fire alarms. It happened on January 28th. He was arrested, charged with assault while displaying a dangerous weapon, first-degree criminal mischief, and disorderly conduct, according to the Polk County online booking records. Now, according to the Des Moines Police Department, Hill approached a victim in the 18th floor stairwell at the Des Moines Marriott downtown with the toilet plunger. According to court documents, the naked man yelled, "I'm going to effing get you," as he chased the victim. Police said that multiple people saw him allegedly pull fire alarms around the hotel. The man continued running on several floors, swinging the plunger until he was subdued by the police. He was booked into the jail, posted bail on the very next day, according to court records. He pleaded not guilty to the charges and will appear in court at a later date. The guy, he's 21. I don't know if he's from Vegas. I don't know what he was doing in Iowa, but he looks kind of like an entitled brat who was probably pissed to be in Iowa on maybe around his birthday time or something. He'd rather be back in Vegas, partying, living it up. I don't
Or he
know.
was just drunk. And
That's what I got from his photo.
Okay. I think most people that live in Vegas aren't partying up.
No, but he looks like the type that wishes like he would have been there rather than in Iowa. So he's gonna spend mom and dad's money and just make a mess of himself. That's what I get from his mugshot.
I'm going to go to Iowa and cause trouble.
Yeah.
Said no one ever.
Right.
You go to Vegas, you cause trouble. Go to LA, go to New York City. Nobody goes to Iowa just to cause trouble.
I do not have a counter to that. I grew up in Iowa. I do not have a counter to that.
You only cause trouble in Iowa if you're from there because you got nothing else to do in Iowa.
Right, because the gravel road. Yeah, you're on the gravel road drinking.
Man breaks into home and hides under sheet. I'm not sheeting you. This is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like it. The lead-in sounds insane.
Happens in West Virginia where this gal, she's sleeping and she hears glass breaking in her house. So she goes to check and she sees a strange man in her house. Oh no. So she runs upstairs to be with her granddaughters and she calls the police. Help, there's somebody in my house. So the police come down and they're searching around and they go to the back room. They see a pile of sheets. They see the pile of sheets move. Well, that sheet is not supposed to move. So they found 30-year-old William Brewer hiding underneath the sheet. Now, first they tried to cuff the man. He tried to run, but, they cuffed him anyway. He told the police that he only did it because he was high on the drugs and he needed a place to sleep. He says that, I guess he broke into the lady's house next door. She called the cops too. He says that he broke into that house to do the same thing, just looking for a place to sleep. But he left because the woman there would not stop yelling at him.
Mm.
When we play hide and seek in my house,
Yeah.
I will sometimes hide under a sheet because I'm not trying to win.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to not breathe under the sheet because the sheet moves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easily found.
Where would you hide, Lindsay? If you were this guy, where would you hide?
Probably in a closet
That's the first place they're going to look.
or under a bed.
Second place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in a sheet.
Under.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, if he was looking to take a nap, I mean, maybe they were Egyptian cotton and they looked really comfy.
Gimpy, where would you hide?
in a trash can. Not like in the small trash can in the kitchen, but no, in a dumpster outside.
Ooh.
I think it's big enough to fit a body in. Probably one of the last places they're going to look. Maybe, I don't know. I try not to run from the police, but I do remember watching Cops. He tries to hide under the kiddie pool, and they kick it over, and they find him every time.
Yeah, because they know to look there.
Yeah.
I think you got to hide in plain sight. My best hiding spots when we play hide and seek in the house is in plain sight.
Mm.
Lampshade on your head?
Well, not like standing in the wide open,
Right.
Yeah.
but I have stood behind a curtain.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Right.
They don't think to look for the shoes under the curtain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're kids.
Exactly.
They run right past you.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Yep.
Got to think like a child. On the podcast, we mentioned one thing is added to a news story. It changes the dynamic of a story. It makes it way more intense. Regardless if it's a news story or a story your friend's telling you.
Mhm.
One factor has to do with feces will change the dynamic of a story. I have found another one that changes the dynamic of a story.
Really? Non-poop related, huh?
Non-poop related.
All right, yeah.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's go ahead and play a game because we've got tickets to our 50th anniversary concert tonight featuring Shinedown. There's still some tickets limited, but they are available. Go to the BOKcenter.com to get your tickets. Pre-party's happening from 5 to 7 at the arena, right across the street from the VOK Center. Last chance tickets. We've got swag, specials, an autographed guitar. But what you need to do is call right now to win. 918-460-KMOD. 918-460-KMOD. We're going to play 10, 20, or 30. Let's get started.
That's right. Do you know 50 years of KMOD rock, baby? Let's find out. 3 songs from 50 years as your rock station. Answer correctly, you win, baby. 918-460-KMOD. Groove it.
All right, let's go to the phones. 918-460-KMOD. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Richard.
Richard, how are you today?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, buddy. Richard, I'm going to play 3 songs, and then I will tell you the year I'm looking for. You got to guess which song came from that year. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here is the first one. All right, Lindsay, who's that?
Save me.
From Shine Down.
Yeah.
All right, here is song number 2. Okay, who's that, Lindsay?
Shine down.
And what song is that? Dead Don't Die.
Don't die.
Yeah, and then here is the third one. Who's that, Lindsay?
Shine down.
And what song is that? How Do You Love? And all right, so what I'm looking for, Richard, is the song that came out in 2005.
Crap. The
Crap.
first one.
Which song is it, sir?
The first one.
The first one, which I believe was this. I played Save Me first, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that is not correct, man. I'm sorry. Thanks so much for playing, Richard. All crap indeed. See you later. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
My name is Samantha.
Hi, Samantha. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Corbin?
I'm good, friend. Let me play the 3 songs real quick. Here's the first one. All right, so that's the first one. Here is the second one. All right, that's the second one. And here is the third one. All right, Samantha, which song is from 2005?
I guess it's number 2.
Number 2. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's actually their most recent song that you can hear here on KMOD. So that is not correct. I'm so sorry, Samantha. Thanks for playing. Oh, bye.
Screw you.
You don't realize the depth of their catalog, man.
For real.
Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
My name is Galen.
Galen?
Yep.
Hey, all right, Galen. I will quickly play the 3 songs. You tell me which one is from the year I'm looking for.
Got it.
Good news, these are all Shine Down songs. The bad news is you've got to try and figure out which year. Here's the second one. That's the second one, and here's the third one. All right. Which song is from 2005?
I know the third one's pretty new, so I'm gonna have to go with the second one.
Yeah. Did I mess this up, Gimby?
You sure did, boss. I was
Okay.
checking, man. I'm like, something
Yeah,
seems fishy.
My notes are wrong here. Dude, you're going to win. I'm just going to give them to you. Yeah.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah. Hang on the line. As I'm sitting here looking at him like, why do I have the star there? That's not correct.
Yeah, man.
I even checked him here a second ago.
Yeah.
Hey, the whole point of doing it this way, were they trying to save her on the
No,
way?
she was already dead. She was dead. Dead.
The two experiences
Dead.
the two experiences that I have had with dead people who have died in the home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The ambulance comes, they don't take the body.
Yeah, when my mom died, I got the call. We was on 21st, and they lived on 21st and Sheridan. Anyhow, so I get to the house, and the ambulance is backed up in the driveway, and they got her on the gurney, putting her in the back of the ambulance, taking her to the hospital. She's already pronounced dead.
It feels like an extra trip to take them to the hospital.
I don't know.
Well, that's where the morgue.
It's not at the hospital. The hospital has a morgue.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how it works out.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with my dad, too. My dad died at the house, and they picked him up, took him to the hospital, and that's where we got to say our final goodbyes.
Yeah,
So,
and I don't know. It's like, do you check? Maybe they check the ID. It's like, are they a organ donor? Maybe that's why you take the body to the hospital. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how that works out.
And so, again, I'm not an EMT. So, like, you're an EMT, they die, you go, all right, where's their wallet? I got to check their ID to see if they're an organ donor. How does that work?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you let the people at the hospital deal with it. Like, we're just here to drop the body off. Y'all figure it out.
And is there a code? Like, they call in, like, do they do lights? If they're taking a dead body to the hospital, do they run code to the hospital?
Right, lights and sirens and the whole nine?
Yeah. I would think not. It's
Probably
not an
not.
emergency.
Right.
Exactly.
But if they're an organ donor, time is of the essence on those things.
Uh-huh.
Right.
They have a shelf life.
Man busted with a ton of child porn. So police in Florida,
Was he a cross-dresser?
you should see the mugshot. It's a doozy. Police got a tip in January about some child sexual abuse material being uploaded to the internet at this address.
It's the Crypt Keeper.
They check it out, and that's where they come. They find a 17-year-old Paul Zactel at his home. They searched the house. They found more than 220,000 printed images, weighing in at 2,600 pounds. This cat had a literal ton of child porn strode throughout his house in boxes on boxes on boxes in his garage, or in his office and in his bedroom. Obviously, they arrested the guy. He's in on a $250,000 bond.
It's Herbert.
You boys like pop
It's Herbert from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herbert the pervert.
You can take
Attorney-
your shirt off if you want to.
Attorney accused of stealing settlements to cover drugs and porn.
Was it child porn?
An attorney suspended by the Florida Supreme Court is accused of taking settlement money from his personal injury clients. Deputies say 44-year-old Christopher Reynolds used the money on items including drugs, prostitutes, ride sharing. I don't know if that's in there. I don't know. And adult websites.
Just to show that he's not a total deviant.
Yeah.
He's responsible.
Yeah.
He takes an Uber when he goes out.
Yeah.
Come on.
Drugs, prostitutes, DoorDash, and adult websites. Drugs, prostitutes, bespoke, adult websites. Why did they throw that in there? It's so weird. Detectives say at least 16 clients lost more than $850,000. They believe there's more victims. He could face as much as 30 years in prison if convicted on all charges.
Damn.
Congratulations. I got good news. I got bad news. What's the good news? We won.
Woohoo.
What's the bad news? Ooh, there's no money left.
Sweet potato cracks 2011 cold case leads to Massachusetts man's arrest.
Is that like the informant's name?
They call me Sweet
No.
Tater.
Hey, man, don't talk to Sweet Potato.
No, the Massachusetts police made a pretty spectacular break.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, Friday, in a decade-old case murder thanks to an actual sweet potato. They arrested the suspect on Friday in a February 27th, 2011 shooting death of Todd Lampley. Cops found the alleged killer's DNA on a sweet potato left at the scene. Yeah.
You don't like sweet potatoes?
No, it's the DNA left on a sweet
Oh.
potato.
Yeah. So
Good Lord, dude.
That's not what they're for.
Davaris Hampton of Mash P was arraigned Monday in Barnes Stable
Mashed
District Court.
pea, mashed potatoes.
Mash P. Yeah. Charges of murder, assault, and battery with a deadly weapon. He's 40 years old. He pled not guilty, was ordered to be held without bail. Police found 3 shell casings, a black cell phone, and a sweet potato with a hole through it at the scene. Investigators reportedly found his DNA on the sweet potato.
Pause.
He used it.
There's only 2 reasons that sweet tater has a hole in it.
You don't put holes in potatoes.
You do if you want to stick something in it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. I am not aware, and it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, of any delicacy made with pomme de terre, apples of the earth,
Mm-hmm.
that have a hole in it. Now, twice baked potatoes, sure.
Yeah.
You scoop everything out, make the mashed taters with everything, put it back in,
Mm.
crisp it up, right?
Mm,
Delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's about it. I can't think of another, and I've never seen that done with sweet potatoes. Not that I couldn't. The skin's not as dense as a regular potato.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So picture this. He
Mhm.
holds the potato. My mouse has the potato, or
Everybody who's watching at
Mhm.
home, yeah.
he used the sweet potato as a silencer.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it from a TV show.
Yes, he sure
Mhm.
did.
Oh.
In court, prosecutors recalled a scene in the hit HBO series The Wire
Right.
when a sweet potato
right.
was used to mask
that
a
show.
gunshot.
I think a sweet potato is the worst potato to use as a silencer
Oh, okay. Say
because
more.
it's weird shape. All right. Most
do have
sweet
weird
taters
shapes,
are
yeah.
oddly shaped. If you want a good tater to silence your pistol, you're going to use like a regular bacon potato, right? Something large, girthy,
No.
No.
not something that's all weird and jagged looking.
Here's why I say a sweet potato makes a great silencer because of its odd shape. They're so weird. Most times you have sort of a skinny side to it and then the wider side to it. So you have kind of like a handle and then the part for the gun to go through.
I would go with the density of the material on the inside of a regular potato or like a russet.
Finer
A
points.
russet, like,
russet
yeah,
potato.
is like it's not as dense as the interior of a sweet potato.
Mm.
But to me, the amount of work you have to do,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be holding the tater up to the gun and then pulling the trigger. I'm afraid something happened and end up blowing a thumb off.
yes.
I would be drilling a hole
That's
in said
what I'm
tater
saying.
and then
Yeah.
slide it over the barrel.
What? And then you got to make sure you have the right drill bit.
Right.
This feels like a lot. Just take a 2-liter bottle, like he did in The Shooter.
Right. Or an old oil filter. You get that from a lot of zombie video games.
Right.
Mm.
Or maybe sleep on it
And they come back
and then decide if it's
"Ah,
still something you want to go
I
after.
don't want to shoot this person now.
Huh.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
He's doing
I'm so happy that was what you were getting ready to demonstrate.
Uh-huh.
I literally thought I was witnessing someone's last moment on radio. I was like, go ahead, girl. See what you got. We all control our own destiny.
Right. Right.
Why didn't you stop her? Why? You tell me not to intervene.
Right? Here on the Big Man Morning Show, we let them hang themselves.
Yeah.
Woman busted with vagina meth. They started off as a typical traffic stop last week where police had stopped Anthony Peza and his girlfriend Tiffany Chapman. They asked them, hey, y'all got any drugs in the car? And they're like, nah, man, we're good. They're like, all right, well, you're going to have to get out of the car so we can search it. And they're like, okay. So they get out of the car and the deputies start searching the car. Well, in the car, while they're searching, they found all kinds of stuff. They found paraphernalia, baggies, scales. They found another bag that had several different prescription bottles in it with the labels removed, which is not good.
Not like that.
So while they're searching the car, Tiffany's like, hey, I've got meth in my muff. And they're like, huh? And they're like, she's like, yeah, you might want to come get this. So they call a female deputy out.
I believe the audio sounded like this. I think you want to come get this.
So they call a female officer out, and she ends up retrieving 10.8 grams of meth from the woman's box. And glove box. They ended up busting both of them for the same thing. They both got busted for trafficking meth. They both got busted for possession of marijuana and paraphernalia. And they are both sitting in the pokey right now.
I know some of you are thinking, did she get any breaks because she let them know she had illegal contraband inside her muff? Probably not. You're supposed to tell them.
Yeah, because if you go into the jail with it,
oh yeah,
that's an extra charge.
Viral video shows car dealer peeing on woman's ID. This happens in the beautiful state of Wisconsin. Police there are looking into a viral video that appears to show a car dealer. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. Or as we like to call it, mistake-free radio until about 20 minutes ago. Apparently, that's the first time that's ever happened on this show.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's see what's in Gippy's 4x4.
Well, Coleman, it says here that a possible bird strike causes fire to American Airlines plane engine. The flight was headed to Phoenix, Arizona, and was rerouted back to its departure airport in Columbus, Ohio, less than an hour after its initial takeoff. American Airlines say that the plane made a safe return due to a mechanical issue. John Glenn Columbus International Airport remained open and operational. No one was injured, and the FAA is investigating.
Have you seen the video?
No.
Dude, I mean, it isn't like flames like from a jet. Like,
right.
It looks like the wings on fire.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's intense.
And birds just get caught up in the engine and catch fire. Barbecue, I guess.
I think the damage creates some sort of disfigurement to a blade or something, and then that causes a spark, and which in turn causes a fire.
Makes sense. I didn't know how flammable feathers were.
Apparently quite.
Yeah. What do we got here? White House to welcome Tennessee lawmakers today. Representatives Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, and Gloria Johnson will meet with old JB today. Jones and Pearson were expelled by the Republican majority for protesting on the House floor days after 3 children and 3 adults were killed in school shooting in Nashville. There we go. It says here that they have since been reinstated, and JB previously thanked all 3 of them for spotlighting what he called undemocratic and unprecedented attacks on them. Kansas City mayor blames shooting on fear and paranoia culture. Democrat Quentin Lucas said politicians and the media are largely to blame for a culture where people immediately go for their guns. Family members say that Ralph Yarl is recovering after being shot in the head by an elderly white homeowner.
I don't hate this take. I mean, when you talk about like people getting shot, turning around in driveways, or somebody just ringing a doorbell, there you clearly are. There's a lot of fear going on.
Yes.
So I don't hate that take.
I'm not opposed to it either. It makes sense.
I don't know if it's accurate. I just don't hate it.
Right. Lastly here, bill requiring bonds for marijuana farms among the first to be signed into law by old Stitt last week. One of the first new laws signed by Governor Stitt this legislative session hopes to help combat illegal marijuana grow operations in the state. Senate Bill 913 requires all commercial marijuana growers to hold a $50,000 bond. Now, that money will have to be paid up front before the new operations can begin. The bond can be recalled to help fund any necessary remediation if the grow operation is abandoned or has a license revoked. The bill is one of many meant to put regulations in place that weren't there when medical marijuana was legalized 5 years ago.
Right. They're just I mean, yeah, 5 years. Now we'll do something about it.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
Packers and Jets are resuming the Aaron Rodgers trade discussions. Ian Rappaport with NFL Media reports the two sides have recently re-engaged, but a deal is not imminent. Rappaport went on to say the two sides are at least talking with hopes a deal can finally be done this week. Many believe this Friday was always the deadline, as the Jets have two consecutive second-round picks in the draft. One is expected to be used in a deal for Rodgers, but Green Bay has been trying to get a first-rounder from New York. Round one of the draft begins Thursday night.
I don't know if they're going to get it done. I mean, if it'd be weird to be like, yeah, we'll get to it the week of.
Mhm.
It seems like a weird thing to table. And it creates kind of like this scenario. What if somebody wants a spot that they it just feels like a weird wait.
Yeah.
If you want the guy, get it done.
Right. Quit messing around. Esther, get off the pot, bro.
When you want a house, you buy it.
That's right.
Or you put you make a move.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, we want more. If you really want it, you keep pushing. You keep meeting whatever demand that they have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to expect more money than Jalen Hurts? Yeah. And can they pay it? I don't know.
I think they all can pay it, Lindsay.
Yeah, true.
Right. The owners are billionaire.
Right.
Come on.
Lincoln Riley and the USC Trojans are adding a major piece to their defensive line. Former Georgia defensive lineman Bear Alexander announced on Sunday that he is transferring to USC. Alexander helped the Bulldogs win the national championship as a true freshman and finished the season with 9 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 pass deflections. The defensive lineman entered the portal earlier this month and received offers from Texas, Oregon, and several other schools. Oregon State Athletic Director Scott Barnes is stable and showing signs of improvement after being hospitalized for a medical event. The university said that Barnes continues to receive care at St. Agnes Medical Center in Fresno, California. Barnes experienced a medical event on Saturday night when attending an awards ceremony in Fresno. He's been able to communicate with family members since being hospitalized. The 60-year-old Barnes has served as Oregon State's AD since 2016. And in Sooner news, USA Today Sports believes the Oklahoma Sooners could have TCU-type run to playoffs in 2023. The season about Oklahoma is all about improving upon what was a disappointing 2022 season. Their spring game provides the first glimpse of what could be this season, though it's hard to fully grasp what Oklahoma is going to be until we see them against Big 12 competition in the fall. The spring game gives us an idea of who will be significant players for the Sooners this season. Though Oklahoma's defense struggled last season, there's no reason they can't have a bounce back year in 2023. Paul Meyerberg of USA Today Sports believes the Sooners could go on a TCU-like run and return to the playoffs. The program's first losing finish since 1998 should yield a noticeable rebound in Brent Venables' second season. But how high can the Sooners climb? Venables has flipped the roster with a top 5 recruiting class and another dozen transfers, including huge pickups such as offensive tackle Walter Roos, hybrid linebacker Desan McCullough, and edge rusher Trace Ford from Oklahoma State. But Oklahoma needs to beef up an average pass rush, develop a go-to receiver for quarterback Dylan Gabriel, and sort out a rotation at running back and in the secondary. The transfer portal class will have to be big time for the Sooners. There's a lot riding on players and Austin Stogner to help raise the talent on the roster.
I would think the patience for Venables, if they don't do dramatically better, will be almost zero. I would think I would think Sooner fan is expecting, and I hate the kind of talk of like, they're going to go on a run.
Yeah.
A lot can happen between now and then. Injuries, scandal, great, like whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
And the idea that you just make that statement feels so presumptuous.
Right.
There's no way to know. They just have to do better.
Yeah.
OU fan wants them to do better. And that kind of talk just like overserves OU fan. And apparently at the game, which they had one of the biggest attendance for the spring game, he made a speech and made some call out. But it's like he even counted the spring game last year to help make it sound like they went 500. And you're like, the spring game is you're playing each other. You're winning.
Yeah, but it counts.
No matter
Totally
what.
counts, man. Totally counts.
But we'll see what happens. I don't get excited about spring games, and
Yeah.
maybe I'm not a I don't get excited for Chiefs spring training, for fall ball, right?
Mhm.
It just doesn't do it for me. So I don't know why to put any weight on what they're saying would matter.
Right. But yeah, you said attendance was just under like 55,000.
Yeah,
And
makes it one of the top in the nation.
that score 49 to 57.
It's not real, Lindsay. Those aren't
I
real
know.
scores. So
I know.
to even say the score is pointless.
Mm-hmm. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay at 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered 1-8 Elevate.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
Dispensary.
That is correct. Corbin's in a lead, 3-2. One Love Wellness Day Spa.
Corbin.
You got to pick it up, Lindsay. Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, One Love Wellness is indeed a
Wow.
dispensary. Yes. Corbin killing it right now. Lotus Blossom,
Corbin.
Day Spa or Dispensary, Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
You are wrong, my friend.
You
Lotus-
might need to.
Lotus
Okay.
Blossom is a day spa. Go ahead, Google
I
it.
know there's a dispensary called Lotus.
There's one called Lotus Gold, not Lotus Blossom. See, and that's the fun part about this game because they can be
semantics,
they're
sure.
so close. All right, Indigo Day Spa or Dispensary. Lindsay.
That is a dispensary.
Indigo Lindsay is a day
Yeah.
spa.
Oh,
So
bummer.
far, it's 4-2. Corbin's lead. Hand and Stone Day Spa or
Lindsay.
Dispensary. Lindsay.
Spa.
All right, Lindsay, you are correct on a comeback.
I've been there.
It's a 50-50 guess.
Right, of course. All right, Rosebuds Day Spa or Dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
I'm going to go dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct. Rosebuds is a dispensary, tied up 4-4. Jade Wellness Center Day Spa
Corbin.
or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a wellness, or that is a day spa.
Corbin. Jade Wellness Center is a dispensary. Still tied 4-4. Deluxe Day Spa or
Corbin.
Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin, you are incorrect. Deluxe is a dispensary. Nature's Kiss.
I think that's both, actually.
Who knows? This is just the
Yeah,
information that
who
was
cares if
given.
it's accurate?
Yeah. All right, Nature's Kiss, Day Spa or Dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct, my friend. Corbin just made 5-4. Aqua Viva Oasis, Day
Lindsay.
Spa or Dispensary. Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay is correct. All right, so we're tied up 5-5. Fig Medical, Day Spa or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. Fig Medical is a day spa.
I was thinking because like sweets,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
like sometimes you it smells like
You're
a fig.
thinking medical marijuana.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
All right. All right. Remember, this is for a big prize at the end of the
Sure.
at the end of the game here.
Sure.
You are going to love the prize that I have
Leftovers.
chosen for you.
Leftovers.
Right, it's a
Okay.
roach.
Right. Right.
Bong
And
water.
not the one you smoke.
It's the crumbs.
Laura Apothecary, Day
Lindsay.
Spa or Dispensary. Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay is incorrect. The
Yeah, it's a
Laura
spa.
Apothecary is a day spa. Lucky Garden, Day Spa or Dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That's a dispensary.
Lucky Garden, Corbin is a day spa. So far, we got 6 to Corbin and 5 to Lindsay. The Health Center, Day Spa or
Oh,
Dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct. You sound like you've been there before.
To me, the name was just so obvious. There's no
Right.
way you're going to call an actual spa that.
Right, the Health Center. Supreme Heights, Day Spa or
Corbin.
Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct. All right, so we're looking at 8-5, Lindsay.
Okay.
All right, we're down in the home stretch of this thing. All right, the Enchanted Cottage, Day
Corbin.
Spa or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin is incorrect. That is a day spa.
Why are people calling here asking if we have weed?
Got any specials on an ounce, man?
It's called Enchanted.
Wildflower, Day Spa
Corbin.
or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
That is incorrect, Corbin. Wildflower is a day spa. All right, Clover Patch, Tulsa, Day Spa or
Lindsay.
Dispensary. Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct.
What's the score?
6-8, Corbin's
Okay.
lead. All right. The Merry Mind, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary. Lindsay.
Spa?
Lindsay. The Merry Mind is a dispensary. All right. The Relax Station, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary. Corbin.
That is a spa.
That is correct. Corbin is up 9-6. Path to Wellness, day spa or dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary?
Lindsay, Path to Wellness is a
Oh,
day
I'm
spa.
sorry. I thought you said packed.
Oh, yeah. Was that the
wellness.
problem?
No, I thought it said packed.
Sure, yes. Let me enunciate a little bit more, shall we? All right, let's see here. Heirloom, day spa or dispensary? Heirloom, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin.
That's a dispensary.
Corbin, Heirloom is a day spa.
Mm.
You're still in the lead, 9-6. He's okay. Tulsa Garden, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay. Day
Spa.
spa or dispensary. The Tulsa Garden is a day spa. Good job, Lindsay.
Score.
We're looking at 9-7, Corbin's lead. Bella Roma Medical, day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin, Bella Roma Medical is a day spa. Stonebrook, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Yes, you are correct, Lindsay. We are now 9-8, neck and neck. Who is going to win, day spa or dispensary, and walk away with a big, big prize? Stone Age Meds, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. The Stone Age Meds is a dispensary. Uptown Wellness, day spa or dispensary?
Corbin.
Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. Uptown Wellness is a dispensary.
Really?
We only got 2 left here.
Okay.
All right. So we got a chance to tie it and a breaker if we can do this. All right. Pura, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin is correct. Pura is a dispensary, puts him with the win, 10-8. I'll go ahead and give you the last one, see if you can guess it. Stonebrook, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay would have been correct, which wouldn't matter because it's 10-9. Corbin is the big winner. Congratulations, Corbin.
What'd I get?
You want to know what you got?
Yeah.
My friend, I tell you, you have won my leftover potatoes. That's right, Corbin. I had
Listen,
dinner last night.
I love it. That's awesome, man. I'm actually kind of hungry, so I think that's a fantastic
This is
gift. And
perfect.
you're not a horrible cook,
No.
so that's great. But, I just think it's just an honor to win, so I'm going to go ahead and give it to Lindsay. She put in a valiant effort.
Listen,
And,
Corbin,
I just appreciate the competitiveness. And, I'm just one guy on a team, and we're just a team trying to make the thing happen. And, it's an honor to be a part of the Ford Truck Series and anything I can do to make this Hilton Hotel team do the best I can.
Well, Corbin, I'm glad that you accepted and decided to give your prize of potatoes to the loser of the game, but that's not all that you're going to win. All right. So not only do you get my leftover dinner from last night, my potatoes and a little bit of steak with some cheese on top, I'm also going to hook you up with a 6-pack of Twisted Tea.
Oh.
Set right up front because nobody wants it. So
Yeah.
I grabbed a pack and you get
Yeah.
to take it home with
Again, you put
Twisted
zero
Tea.
effort into the prize.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just real grateful that this Hilton Honors team did the best they could, and we'll make sure part of the Ford Truck Series continues. So I'd like to give it to my second place because second isn't winning. So
All right.
Twisted Tea is a great beer fridge for guests.
Right, right.
item.
Well, congratulations, Lindsay. You got yourself some old mushed potatoes and some warm Twisted Tea for losing on Day Spa or Dispensary.
I found some myths about serial killers.
Oh, fun.
All serial killers are men. That is a myth.
Well, yeah.
Reality is that it's just not true. As of late of 1998, a highly regarded former FBI profiler said there are no female serial killers. The news and entertainment media also perpetrate the stereotypes that all serial killer offenders are male and that women do not engage in horrible acts of violence. The lethality of a female fatale is presented in book or film. She's most often portrayed as the manipulated victim of a dominant male. The reality concerning the gender of serial killers is quite different from the mythology of it. There have been many more males. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. So many shows coming up at the Canes Ballroom as well on August 6th. Social Distortion, that's a weekend show. You can win tickets online by signing up at KMOD.com.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning, Corbin. The only show that matters is the concert tonight at the BOK Centers. We celebrate 50 years as your rock station with Shinedown and 3 Days Grace. Join us at the Arena Pub across the street from the BOK Center tonight from 5 to 7 and try to win free tickets if you did not purchase said tickets.
Congratulations to Jeff Burns of Tulsa. Jeff heard the cue and is now qualified for CML 2023. Your chance to see every concert KMOD is a part of, but you got to listen for that cue. It plays every hour with us and then more chances throughout the day, so make sure you're listening. It's all brought to you by Shiner Bach and 97.5 KMOD. Time for Our Listeners Are Awesome. We like sharing, getting stories from listeners, having them share them with us, and Kevin is on with us. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, Bull.
Kevin,
How are you guys?
I'm great, man. Thank you. Kevin is engaged. How long have you been engaged?
Oh, for a year and a half, going to.
How did you ask her?
We were in St. Augustine, Florida, and we were along the beach, so I decided I'd figure, why not? Sure enough, might as well. We were over there by the fort, so yeah.
How'd you meet her?
I met her through my buddy on Xbox Live, Call of Duty, her brother. We've been buddies for 6-7 years, and then all of a sudden we were in video chat one day, smoking, just having a smoke session, and next thing you know, I see this lady bent over in the background, and I said I'd screw her, you know.
Great
ass. Right, sorry. But she picked me out of the 6, and we started talking for 3 years, and I finally flew her down from Michigan in 2020, and been together ever since.
So you see, she picked you out of the 6. There were like 5 other dudes that were like battling it out to win her hand.
No, Gimpy, my bad. I'm sorry. I meant to, out of the 6 of us that were in the video chat, since I'm the best looking one out of the group, she picked me out thinking that I said it, and sure enough, she was right. So,
and so how long was it you said that you just talked online before you met in person?
Oh, 3.5 years or so. It was a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
How nervous were you?
Video chatting. What now?
How nervous were you when you flew her in, like picking her up at the airport?
Oh, man, it was great. I got one of those glass roses, and I had it at the Tulsa terminal, and just waiting on her. And man, I sat there for 3 hours almost waiting.
That is spectacular. Because you just wanted to get there early, or her flight was delayed?
No, yes, her flight was delayed probably an hour or so. And so I wanted to make sure I was there and didn't miss anything. So I had about 50 videos trying to video her coming down the terminal, and every video until the last one, it was finally her.
Right. He's just like, nope.
Not
Nope. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what's like, do you remember when that happened? Like, did you guys come up with some rules? Like, was she still, 3 years is a long time. I would think you got a lot of that stuff ironed out, but like any rules hey, I'll get you a hotel or whatever you need to feel comfortable.
No, she moved in, right? She moved in with me, and then, we started our life together. And
hold on.
Oh,
so you talked on the phone or whatever, video chat or whatever for 3 years. Then she moves here and so do you spend a weekend together at all? Like any in-person things, or does you just talk online and then she just moves here after 3 years?
Yep. I spent $192 on a plane ticket. So Yeah, it was during the pandemic, so we had to wait till she could actually come down. So
hold on,
yeah.
I'm floored by it. Am I the only one that thinks this is crazy?
No.
So you
Right.
never put your fingers on her skin until you bought her a plane ticket to move here. Theoretically forever.
She okay, I'll go back. In March, end of February, beginning of March of that year, she was coming from Texas to Michigan. Well, she was coming from Houston, Texas to Dallas. I mean, from Houston to Tulsa. And she got on a bus. Well, she had a 4 or 5 day layover from bus to bus. So I picked her up and she stayed at the house for 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
And we hung out for that whole day. The first day, I accidentally passed out for about a day and a half because we smoked some moon rock joint or whatever. Yeah, it was, yeah. I passed out in the, dude, yeah. Hey, we went to the theaters, okay? I took her to IHOP that morning. We went to the movies and went and seen Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And within 5 minutes, I was out. I passed smooth out. I was so high that, yeah, I mean, but yeah.
Quite a charmer.
Ended up going for dinner that evening. We went to Hardee's. I mean, Carl's Jr.
Right.
Baby, you're so special. I'm gonna get you a famous star. It's Friday. They're 99 cents today.
I want that big Carl with extra sauce.
I bet you.
I bet you do, man. Yeah. So you wake up after being comatose for like over 24 hours. Do you think you fumbled the ball? Like, or do you were you worried?
No.
He's like, I got this one.
If I fumbled, we wouldn't be together today.
Fair enough. It says here that you moved from Florida to Oklahoma. Tell me how that happened.
No, you got it backwards. We moved to Florida from Oklahoma.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm an Oklahoma boy. Yeah.
Okay, so how'd you get to Florida?
Man, I got a job offer in 2021, and I got laid off in 2020 from the pandemic and stuff. And needless to say, I spent almost a year and a half on unemployment, which sucked. But a buddy of mine from Florida called me. He used to be my boss for 15 years doing concrete. And so he gave me a call asking if I needed a job, and he knows somebody who's hiring. So, yeah, he got me down here within 3 or 4 months. And, yeah, man, lived in the truck for lived in the truck for 2.5 months. Dude, it sucked. And a little Nissan hardbody, 92 extended cab.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just took the gamble and went.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. First, we went from Oklahoma to Michigan, and then from Michigan down south to Florida. So.
Well, do you remember a time when you were living in your truck that you were like, this is really dangerous? Did anything happen that you, upon reflection, you're like, yeah, that was stupid. Like, I'm lucky nothing bad happened.
Dude, Florida's crazy. It sucked having her in the truck, we were just living in the truck from job to job. And so we were just trying to save money because the stayable suites down here, I paid our full month's rent, and they told me I didn't. I had the receipt, I had the payment and everything, showed them. They called me a liar. They kicked us out. They had her sitting on the curb with all our stuff locked up, and they took $1,470 and kept it. And so that's why we ended up living in the truck for 2.5 months. I was like, forget that. So we'll just live in the truck until we can afford to buy a camper. And that's what I did. So 30-foot, 2005, $5,000 camper. It's nice.
Wow. Living in a truck can't be easy. And then you throw another individual into the cab of the truck as well. That makes it even more intense.
Right. And especially a 92 Nissan hardbody, a little extended cab, little bitty. Yeah. And I'm 5'9", so I mean, there was no laying down flat for me. It was always, it sucked.
Where did you park? Like, where'd you park for the night? Like, how did you navigate that?
either at the job sites that I was at, or at the rest areas. They got a rest area that's right by Jacksonville, in between Jacksonville and St. Augustine.
So walk me through that. Walk me through. So like you're doing a job, you finish the job, you what? She's in the truck already, so you don't have to pick her up, and then you drive to wherever and then park for the next 12 hours or so?
Yep, basically. Well, no, we'd always go up to the trucker station, or the trucker stop, take a shower. $16 shower for two is $32. So yeah, that gets expensive, man.
Yeah.
So, but twice a week doing that, yeah, I'm a shower every day kind of guy, and man, yeah, all the sand down here sucks. Yeah.
How'd you have meals? Was everything fast food?
Yeah. Yep. And I'm a type 1 diabetic too, so yeah, it wasn't good.
So
Wow.
How did you get your insulin and stuff? Aren't you insulin dependent?
I got a 65 quart Yeti, Lindsay.
Okay.
That's a lot of insulin.
Yeah.
So I just bought ice every 3 days, and
Okay.
yeah.
I think Corbin and I were on the same. Like, you just fill up your cup full of insulin.
A tumbler?
Right.
No. I kept my insulin in the cooler.
Got it.
Sorry. Yeah.
It says here that you once stabbed yourself in the head.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Me and my brother back in 98, I think. 98. I ripped my dome open with the screws. The screws on the end of the air duct HVAC system in Walmart, the big 3 foot tunnels.
Yeah.
Okay. Daniel was hiding in one of those. Well, I ran through it. He's tall, so I'm short little dude, and running through it just fine. And then I go to stand up. Well, I put my knee down and my head up at the same time, and I put a screw through my kneecap and my skull, eighth of a centimeter or so away from the brain.
Oh!
So yeah, 9 staples, several Batman stitches or whatever they had back then.
And were you scared at all? Like,
dude, no, I was covered in blood. I didn't know what was going on. Heck.
And was that an ambulance ride?
No, yeah, that was sitting in the bathtub till the ambulance got there. I lived out there 4 miles from Will Rogers Raceway.
Sure.
Horse track. Yeah, I lived out there in the country. So, I mean, there was no hurry and rushing for that. I sat in the bathtub. Bathtub filled up with blood, though.
Ew.
I mean, that's fascinating enough, but we're not done with the stabbings. You also ripped your sack open?
Yeah, back in '97 with when George of the Jungle came out, my aunt was the manager at the theater, so up in Miami, and she let us see the movies before they came out.
Yeah, hold on. What year was that?
97.
I feel
Back
like
in 97.
Yeah. I feel like you could have named maybe a different, like Men in Black.
Yeah, but did you go see Men in Black? Probably to go see George of the Jungle.
No. Seeing George of the Jungle, and the next morning I ripped my sack completely open on a chain. Yeah.
Trying to be George of the Jungle.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, I guess there's context there.
Yeah.
Felt like a very weird movie reference.
I was 8 years old. I mean, heck.
There's only room for one Brendan Fraser.
So where did your sack get caught?
Oh, the sack. I mean, the balls were hanging, the veins showing.
No. What did it get hung up on?
What'd you cut it on there, boss?
Sorry. What?
What'd you get it ripped on?
Oh, the chain. You know how the plastic, clear blue or the purple plastic that covers the chain?
On a swing. Okay.
Yeah. That was missing in some spots. Well, my sack caught that some spots with the chain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any permanent damage?
They told me I couldn't have kids 2 kids later. Yeah.
So everything still works fine.
Yes, sir. Yeah. No permanent damage. No.
And my notes here say that you guys have 7 kids together.
Oh, no. I've got 2. She's got 5. We pay child support. We don't have them. We'd love to, but I mean, yeah, it's just, that's how the tables were turned. So,
Dude, 7 kids is like, even if they're not living with you, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, her oldest is just turned 21 on 4/19. So,
Yeah. All right.
she's 4 years older than me.
All right. So you've got a stab to the head. You've got your sack ripped open. And you've also been stabbed in the chest.
Yes. Yeah. 5 inches deep, left armpit, back in 2013. And, that was 1 centimeter down. He caught my heart. 2 centimeters up. He caught my my lung. And then 3 centimeters back. He caught my artery or something like that. Yeah.
Who is he?
Yeah, let's not, I mean, all right. Roy Rogers Jr. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not familiar with him.
No.
Like Roy Rogers, the famous cowboy?
No, Roy Rogers Jr. Fucking, pardon my language. Sorry.
Yeah, I clearly hit a nerve there. So who was this person to you and why did they stab you?
I don't know the guy. Don't care to. I was seeing his ex-wife, I guess. And his bike ended up getting stolen. Well, he came over to her house, came in the door, didn't kick it in, but there's kids there and he was ranting and raving and freaking out. So we were trying to get him out of the door because there's 12 and 13-year-olds and 14-year-old kids there. So I was 24 years old, so I knew better. And he ended up slicing Mikey's forearm, and he stabbed me. And I didn't even know I got stabbed. There was so much adrenaline. I was just swinging away, and next thing you know, I looked down and there's a 4 foot puddle around my left leg, and it was just all blood. And I lifted up my left arm, and it was just squirting with my heartbeat about 10, 12 feet.
Did he get arrested?
Oh yeah. After he slit his wrist and his throat or something like that.
Oh my.
So he tried to kill himself.
Yeah. He wasn't going back to prison. I didn't know he was already been in prison. So yeah.
Did he die?
No. Cops revived him. So he ended up doing a year or so in prison.
And then what?
I don't know. I ended up going to prison myself. So
what'd you go to prison for?
I wrecked with, later on in that year, I wrecked with my son in the car. I had 4 abscessed teeth and 3 on one side, 1 on the other, and I was out of painkillers. So Friday I picked up a half a pint of Jim Beam, and needless to say, from Friday till Sunday I had my son, but I finished off the bottle by Sunday. Well, just swishing it around my mouth and stuff and thinking that I was good. Well, I ended up leaving the house to take him home, and I already asked my parents and someone else to take him all the way from Broken Arrow to Pryor, but nobody could or would, so I ended up doing it myself. She was freaking out, saying I was going to be late, so I left the house at 5 and 1/8 mile, 1/4 mile from the house. I went over railroad tracks on Lynn Lane and overcorrected and hit a telephone pole, flipped, rolled. Yeah, first wreck in my life. First time going to jail, first time going to prison. So yeah, wow. I messed up.
So you went to prison for what?
I refused a breathalyzer, so I got a DUI. I didn't know, but I got a DUI, a child endangerment, child neglect. That I had him in a booster seat, but he wasn't height or something like that. He was age and weight required, but his mom's 4'11", so he was short, and so I got a child restraint So it was like child neglect, child something, but no child abuse or nothing like that. It was just I messed up. I mean,
Sure.
it was horrible. I deserved every bit of it.
How long were you in prison?
For 1 year, I did 1 out of 3. I was only supposed to do a couple months, but while I was in, a guy in the medical line stole my syringe, and I got charged with it. So I sat in the hole for 147 days. Yeah.
Your syringe because you needed it for diabetes.
Right. Yes, sir. Yeah. And I give my syringe back and I get my ID back. Well, when I handed the syringe back, I guess I thought she took it. Well, the guy behind me swiped it, and I went ahead and grabbed my ID. Well, she said, "Well, where's the syringe?" And I had to strip down butt naked in the snow at Taft Prison and show them that I didn't have it, and they called me a liar. So I ended up, they came and got me out of the shower, walked me through the prison butt naked. And then the warden, she was a female, so good God, that big woman. She scared the shit out of me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Dude, you've had quite the colorful life.
Dude, I have, man. Yeah, you guys have only heard half of it, so.
Yeah. Well, thanks for.
Hey, it's all changed though. I'm in Florida having a great life. So
good, man. That's good. That's good to hear, man. Well, congratulations on the engagement, and thanks for sharing your story with us. And I feel like I have to say this: try not to get stabbed or lose your balls.
Thanks, Corbin.
All right, buddy.
Thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure to be on the show. It's been a dream come true.
Right on, man. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Be well.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
See you later. That's our listeners are awesome. Take a break and we'll be back.
More of the Big Man Morning Show is next.
He's so grumpy. I'm not. If I was in a bad mood, you'd know it. I'm just here chilling.
But on the same side, if someone shouldn't we be better as individuals and goes, hey, someone's being concerned and just calling a spade a spade.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Hey, why are you such in a bad mood? I'm not in a bad mood.
Right.
Okay. I'm concerned for your mental well-being, man. Sorry. Next time I'll use a more politically correct term, you pussy.
Just leave me alone.
Hey, listen, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. Got a
Full stop.
Is there another way to come at someone like that? If you recognize someone in a bad mood?
Oh yeah, it's easy. Just leave them be.
There's definitely don't play an active part in the person's life. Probably you have to be a little more kid glovish, right? And you're like, hey, little fella, you look like you're struggling. What's been going on? Come on, here's a lollipop. Tell me what the problem is.
Can I be a shoulder for you to cry on?
Here's another one. Live, laugh, love.
I've seen those signs.
My wife finally is getting rid of the gather sign in our dining room. I have no idea where we're going to eat.
What's her reason for getting rid of it? She's just like, all right.
I think I've pushed the button enough.
Fine. We'll take it down. Why are you in such a bad mood?
People come over, or my girls will go, where are we eating dinner tonight? I'm like, just look for the sign.
Right? Tell you where to go.
Yeah.
I totally thought you were like, I have no idea why. I have no idea where we're going to eat.
Right, because the sign says gather.
I love it.
And it's a play on like, hey, we're family.
I know.
Okay.
This is awesome.
Trying to help you. For your situational awareness. I don't.
No. Seems like a lot.
Another one that is a button. Calm down.
Yes.
Calm down is a move someone says to try and establish alpha.
Right. Dominance.
Yeah.
Instead of peeing on their leg or whatever. Just calm down.
This line. I work hard. When I hear this line, I just laugh inside. Because if you have to announce you work hard, you don't.
A king that has to say he is king is no king.
Right.
Game of Thrones.
You are insecure in your hard work ethic that you must pronounce to the world that you do. Well, then your actions should reflect that, right? I reject the premise of that question. If you said that to me, I'd probably laugh.
Get out of here with that.
Gimpy and I laugh about this one all the time. If I were you,
Oh, you should just.
You should just as a variation of
right
that.
along the same lines.
You
yeah.
need to.
This is another one I love. Threat to our democracy.
Oh, good Lord.
Must be nice. Like, must be nice.
Oh, I was
must
thinking
be
of more like,
nice.
you must be nice.
No. Must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Are we there yet? You know, it must have been when I got my white New Balance that I realized how annoying that phrase is.
Yes, absolutely.
Dad mode, man. I can't stand that.
Mm,
Are we there yet? You'll know. How will I know? When I park the car.
right. Then you stop at the gas station to take a whiz, right? Because you've been on the road for 16 hours. Are we there yet? But you said we were there when you stopped the car. I got to piss. Shut up.
Annoying things people say. I'm the type of person.
Ugh,
Hear me out.
no.
Per my last email.
In other words, I ain't going to say it again.
No, meaning you didn't read it.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
Do your own research.
Lazy is.
Because I said so. Sure.
Mm-hmm. That's a good dad answer right there. But why? Because I said so. That's why.
Right. But if you think about it, when
Mhm.
you're trying to shape a young mind, it
Mhm.
gives no context. You don't learn from that.
And I'm
No.
so guilty of that.
Totally. Every
Mhm.
parent is.
Absolutely.
It's an easy answer. If you're saying that, you're already frustrated.
Exactly. And I even read an article
Oh, good.
years ago saying why you shouldn't say that to your kids. And just like you said, because you're shaping a young mind, it gives them no real reason as to why they shouldn't do this or that. You should give them a reason
Right.
behind why you're saying no.
It's an interpretation like a confrontation
Mhm.
rather than like, no, I just don't understand.
Right.
I'm only saying what everyone's thinking.
Yeah. I've said that before.
Yeah, me same.
I don't like drama.
Hell yeah. Everybody says that.
And yet here we are.
It's a
Mhm.
lie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lie.
Yeah. It's only said by those people who create the drama
Mhm.
or are involved in the drama.
Mhm.
Just giving you a hard time.
That means I'm an asshole, and I notice that I've hurt your feelings, so therefore I've got to smooth things over. I'm just giving you a hard time, man.
Yeah. That's just how I was raised. I hate this statement
Right.
because you can't evolve. We can't evolve as people.
No.
You can't want to break the cycle that happened to
Right.
you.
No.
I get it.
No. Those issues are deep rooted inside me.
Right. And therefore, everyone must be exposed to them
Absolutely.
because I was.
Mm-hmm.
3 charged in kidnapping extortion plot. 3 people have been arrested after torturing a man in a hotel room in Tennessee. It happened on the 21st of this month when police say 25-year-old Jessica Mortensen lured a 25-year-old man to a hotel room. Inside the room, 41-year-old Harry Kingham and 37-year-old Joshua Frazier forced the victim to remove his clothes, then held him at gunpoint while taking him to the bank to withdraw thousands of dollars. The victim was then thrown out of the car in his driveway.
Oh, damn.
All 3 suspects then returned to the hotel where the incident happened. Where police found them.
Yeah, and you never go back to the scene. Right?
Yeah.
Come on.
There's a drug involved, Lindsay. Can you guess what drug is involved?
Meth.
Yes.
Nothing good comes out of methamphetamine.
Nope.
Yeah, and apparently he made an arrangement because he knew this girl from high school,
Mhm.
and he made an arrangement for sex for $300, and the police were like, we're not charging him with solicitation. He's the victim here.
Mhm.
Right.
Even though he was participating in a crime, they knew he would fall for it.
Mhm.
They clearly took advantage of him for hours
Yeah.
and made him give up his information, so he's not getting charged with. So I don't know if maybe he was somebody of some sort of brain disorder or
Okay.
on the spectrum or something that made him, according to the news report, gullible.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe just one of those lonely dudes, and this was the hot chick in high school. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Megan
Mhm.
wants me now?
Yeah.
Well, Megan's, 45 right now and has got 6 kids and a drinking problem, but
Meth problem.
a meth problem. And but it's okay because he remembers teenage Megan. And he's like, well, I'm gonna get me some of that.
Yeah.
Finally, I get to touch my unicorn. And well, they left you naked in your driveway.
Yeah.
On the upside of that, At least they dumped him in his driveway and not, I don't know, traveling down the highway.
The police report said they threw him out of the car in his driveway with like a bag of garbage. That's what the report said.
Like a bag of garbage or with a bag of
Like
garbage?
a bag of garbage.
Okay. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
But he's alive and he is at his house.
All right. The proverbial question.
Uh-huh.
How many days off does he get after being kidnapped, tortured, thrown in his driveway like a bag of garbage? How many days off do you get from something like that? These are bonus days. You're not using vacation or sick days.
We're just going to go ahead and give you some time off to recoup.
Yeah, we as a company empathize with that crazy situation.
Mm-hmm.
You get some days off to recover. That happened on a Friday, the 21st of last Friday. Lindsay.
So, does he have wounds? Like when we.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. Jeff Hensley is going to join us here soon, and you can ask questions about divorce, custody, guardianship, any of those things. He'll be glad to answer them for you. The SpaceX, they launched last week, right? They had to explode the rocket 4 minutes after launch. Now some footage is coming out of the damage to the launch pad. I just sent you guys part of it so you can see. There's even reports they had cars got destroyed because they were parked too close. I guess they thought they were in the clearing.
You'd think there would be signs like no parking or you're next to a launch pad. You kind of been there before. You know what kind of flames it'll shoot out.
I don't know if they've been next to a launch pad before,
Right.
but they probably were like, yes, they probably were in a designated spot.
Over there.
And a lot of journalists had cameras and equipment, remote equipment around to take photos in areas they were told could happen, and it all got destroyed. And SpaceX is not liable. They have a thing like, yeah, you can put it there, but we're not liable if something happens. We'll do our best. There's footage of things exploding on the launch pad and getting launched 15,000 miles per hour into aluminum pieces of aluminum and destroying them. I mean, it's not that they didn't know. It's just that they didn't know.
Right.
Like they knew they were playing with, high danger, but it did way more damage, I think, than they expected it to do on the ground. Also, the rocket didn't do some things that they thought it should have done.
Right. Kind of spun out of control and ended up blowing up. Well,
Yeah. I have this thing of so I'll just use buying a tool, right? If you're going to fix something, you're like, well, I need a tool, but you're like, I don't know if that's the right tool. And let's just say it's $20. I probably won't buy it.
Okay.
Because I'm like, it's $20.
Right. Take a chance and it not be the right
Yeah.
one.
This is gazillions of dollars.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's probably, he has said from the beginning that we're probably not going to get it right on the first shot.
Yeah. Which I think when you're working with space equipment, stuff like that, that's going to happen. You're not going to get it straight out the chute on the very first try. You hope, maybe, but come on.
I mean, when you're getting $2.5 billion or whatever it is from the government to do it,
it's not
maybe
your
you don't
money.
care.
Yeah, it's not your money, whatever.
Maybe you go, yeah, we can do that. 2.5 billion. Oh, okay. Sounds good, Elon.
Right.
I've had people that do lawn work and people that do things like that, and they only take government contracts
because they're guaranteed or they pay more. Or?
They're guaranteed. Like they know they're getting their money. They're not going to flake.
Right.
They're not going to get halfway through a season and be like, I'm not. So they only do government jobs.
Yeah.
He's like, the only challenge is we got to do the bidding process. And we got to be lower than everyone else. He's like, but they pay on time.
Probably up front, maybe sometimes.
Yeah, there's no problems ever. I'm like, maybe that's the deal, right? To get a government deal. I know someone that does, this is crazy. I know this. They have the contract regionally to provide toilet paper and paper towels to government entities.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good gig right there, man.
Yeah, steady.
Yeah. Everybody's going to need toilet paper.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, so you're the middle person. Like you buy from whoever.
Yeah.
and then they buy from you. So he's like, yeah, sometimes I don't even warehouse it. It passes through me.
Huh.
I'm like, so like you don't even. I'm like the Bobs all of a sudden. I'm like, well, what is it that you do?
Right. Well,
What do you mean? I sell toilet paper to the government. Yeah, but you don't physically pick up the toilet paper and take it to them. No. So what do? I told you I sell toilet paper to the government. So you like talk to somebody on the phone? Oh, no. It's all done online.
Yeah, man. That makes it even better.
I'm like, then what do? I told you I sell toilet. No, you don't.
Mm-mm.
You are a data entry person.
Order taker. An order taker.
And he's like, no,
is.
my secretary does that. So what do? I take orders for toilet paper from the government.
And gets paid good cash for it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie War Dogs, Lindsay?
No.
Oh, come on.
You are
girl.
missing out, man.
So in the movie, Miles Teller and Jonah Hill starts buying weapons, arms to sell, like to help the government. It's this crazy thing. And he just finds this loophole so he can do it. But then he finds himself like in it with the big dogs.
Okay.
Right.
Like he's just doing whatever arms sales, which sounds so crazy. And then all of a sudden he's like in Chechnya.
Right. Finds himself there because he's got to make sure that like his shipment of guns gets from one place to another place without getting intercepted, or they're like some kind of laws or something or whatever. And they have to go and deliver it themselves, running through war-torn Afghanistan or what the hell.
Yes.
It is a sick-ass movie. It's awesome.
Spoiler, they all get caught. But
Yeah.
he's totally cheating the system. But he does it all online. There's nobody checking.
Mm-hmm.
Craziness.
I mean, it's no Tango and Cash, but it is
Right.
pretty good. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Let's rock. More of the Big Mad Morning Show is next. 97.5 KMOD.
I keep so like I do all the grocery shopping, right? I do the majority of cooking
Right.
because my schedule allows for that to happen.
Yeah.
So that means if the crap quota was a thing here, that would be on my list of things I got to take care of.
Absolutely. All right. So I got to go to the grocery store at 12:30. I've got a doctor's appointment and then pick up the dry cleaning. Oh, and I've got to take 4 craps today. Oh, big ones too, because, I was light yesterday.
Hey, little Sally flushed. She can't be flushing.
Mm-hmm.
We are so close to this month's quota.
Yeah. You have to keep track of whenever anyone in your family goes poo. You got to collect it for your kids and your wife.
You want to guess what the average household quota a year is of crap in this country?
Oof. I'm going. Lindsay, go ahead.
Like pounds?
Yeah.
Billion pounds?
1 billion pounds in a household.
Good
In a
Lord.
household. I'll go.
That's
Let's
a lot
go
of
with-
duty.
Let's go with 100 pounds.
Okay. Gimpy.
I was going to say 50 pounds, I think is a good quota for your family to poop.
220 pounds a year in a household. Now, these are people that are able to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have somebody who's, they don't go, oh, sorry,
So-
they're on a colostomy bag.
It's a sliding scale, essentially.
Of course, it's an average.
Yeah.
Right. If you have only 2 people in a house compared to the house of 6, I think the scale is going to be a little different.
Does this article say like how they reach that number for the quota? Like, is it based on weight and diet and obviously household members, how many people you have in your house?
Sure. It's going to, by the number of people,
Okay.
depends on how much your
So
quota
it's
is.
strictly on the number of people
Yeah.
that judges how much you need to craft
course.
for this. Okay.
Yeah. What I said was the average.
Right. I was just thinking like, well, they look at a family of 6 and they're like, all right, well, you guys eat X amount a week. So therefore you should be producing X amount of excrement a week. So your quota is X. But I didn't know how it worked out. I guess it's just like you got 6 people. You can make this much poop.
Yeah, you should be able to make this much poop.
Should be able to.
And if not, see your doctor.
The idea that would be a stress in your life.
Yes. What does stress do?
Right.
Stress
binds you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, question.
Answer.
Would you rather, Gimpy, pay taxes or have to collect poop, your family's poop?
Pay taxes.
Amen.
Pay taxes, man. I am
Lindsay?
not. Oh.
I think I'd rather collect poop and use it for fertilizer than pay taxes.
You say that the first day.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
You may even say that the second day. But when you're on, let's just say month 6 of collecting your family's excrement.
Oh, I think it's worse than that. The first day the first month, you're not going to meet the quota.
Right. Oh my God. Oh, we can't go too far into this, but things are different for everybody.
Yeah,
and
everybody's
people
movements are different.
Everybody has different kinds. So let's just say you've got a bad flu one week. Flu will put you down for 4 days.
Yeah.
And there ain't nothing solid about a flu.
Or how about this? You're on an antibiotic.
But you can't use that, right? Like it would have to be solid.
Listen, I didn't go deep into this. Sorry.
Right.
I didn't go to the ins and outs of every household and how many people and what antibiotics you were on. And what did that have to do with it?
Yeah.
To me, the headline is enough.
Yeah. I'm assuming they just want the solid stuff. And I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, they
like,
want a
Gimpy,
good turd.
You clean up after your ferrets. I clean the cat's litter box. I mean, it's not too much different.
It's completely different. One, you're trained by the animal. The other is
right. We're trained by our parents to
Yeah.
do it in a receptacle.
Someone text in, put a colander over the toilet bowl.
dude.
I'm not
Problem solved.
pooping in the same thing that I strain my spaghetti noodles
No,
in.
you buy two.
Yeah, but you got
got
to clean one, Lindsay. You got to clean
Oh
one.
God, and then
Sure.
you get them mixed up because they're
You-
both silver.
One's plastic.
No, plastic absorbs smells.
Gross.
Use that one for your
Yeah,
pasta.
we're getting off. We're getting too far.
Gross. Come on, man.
220 pounds. 220 pounds.
A month. Or is that a year?
A year.
A year.
A year.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of fertilizer.
I get a bag of salt, and it's like 40-pound bag, right, for the water softener,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and so like 5 of the. That's a lot. I get it out of the trunk of the car, and I'm like, but to do that with my own feces, family's feces, is a whole other ball of wax. Amen, right?
Yeah.
When you think about the things that people go through in other countries, I'm like, can you imagine if somebody ran for office and they were like, hey, we're going to put down the national debt by harvesting our own fees. Listen to the math. There's this many number of us.
Uh-huh.
We can sell it this much. We'll have this debt wiped out in no time and have a surplus.
Mhm. Mhm.
You'll be sent a bag.
Right, a government bag. That is not the best bag ever. It kind of leaks every now and again.
Y'all couldn't wear a mask.
For real. You want me to crap in a bag every day? Ship it off.
Think about that.
it
We
off.
couldn't get everybody on the same page
Hey,
with the mask.
hey, did you crap in your bag today, sir?
Look at that beta crapping in a bag.
Oh my goodness gracious. No, there's other options, man. There's other options. There are plenty of animals on this planet that we could be harvesting. Hey, we do harvest their dookie for fertilizer.
Yeah.
Why do we got to use our own? Is
Yeah.
ours, as the human,
Yeah.
is the human sample that much superior?
I can give you an actual reason why.
Why is that?
Box checked. We need more.
There's not enough crap in this world, which is crap in itself. There's more crap in this world
Yeah.
than what we need.
Yeah. Most people don't know this. There is a whole subgenre
Mhm.
of studying the human feces.
Right.
And to the point where they do fecal transplants
Right.
to make people healthy.
Mhm.
That was somebody's idea. That was like, guys, that was a meeting. That was a table,
Yeah.
a long rectangular table, probably had lunch catered in. Okay. And I've got an
Do
idea.
the people that study fecal do lunch meetings? No.
probably not.
No.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
And that office gives a whole new meaning to brown bag lunch. Hey, it's brown bag lunch meeting.
It's brown bag every day.
Brown bag? To me, yeah. Phew. I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
Someone was like, Dad,
Yes,
I
son.
don't want to study engineering anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, what were you thinking about getting into for the rest of your life?
I know
'Cause
that
a
it
career
is
very important.
I know that it is a family thing to be into engineering, but I've got to change it. I've got to chase my own dreams. I don't want your life.
I get that, son. I get it. I was an engineer. Your grandpa was an engineer. His dad and grandpa were engineers. I mean, it just seems to fit. But I'm curious, what do you want to do? Let me help you.
Poopy de scoop.
Excuse me?
Whoop de scoop de poop.
Did you just say poop?
Scoop de whoop.
And what are you going to do with this poop?
Poop de scoop de whoop.
You're going to scoop it.
Whoopy de scoop whoop poop.
You sure you don't want to be an engineer?
Poop.
Sure we can't guide you into some other field?
Whoop de scoop poop.
You could be a gynecologist if you want.
Poop.
Proctologist, it's close. If that's just what you want to do with your life, I mean, okay, good. I support you 100%.
Poop.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. Somebody text in. The SpaceX rocket is the new and the largest ever launched. Look at the photo compared to the Shuttle. Yeah, I'm not taking away from what they did. It's crazy. I'm aware. It was impressive. It was also reckless.
Yeah, definitely.
They had to have known if it was the biggest ever, it was going to be a little crazy.
Yeah.
Hell, maybe we should park a mile back.
Absolutely.
We'll take a bus and then we'll come back, and that way nothing's near it.
Oh, man, all the good stuff's up front.
Let's see what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
The NBA is investigating Hawks guard DeJounte Murray. According to ESPN, Murray appeared to make contact with a referee as he was walking off the court at the end of Atlanta's 129-121 loss to the Boston Celtics. He then turned back and pointed and yelled at someone before exiting the court. The Hawks did not make Murray available for interviews after the game. Murray was fined $20,000, while the Spurs last season, after he was ejected from a game for throwing a ball off the legs of a referee. The Bucks are hoping their star player will be ready for Game 4 of the opening round playoff series against the Heat in Miami. Giannis Antetokounmpo was able to work out individually in Miami on Sunday. However, the coach said the team will continue to monitor him and see how he wakes up tomorrow. The All-Star forward has missed 2 straight games after suffering a back contusion in Game 1. Milwaukee is down 2-1 in the best-of-7 series. One of the Knicks' top players is still dealing with an injury. Julius Randle is still playing through a left ankle injury he suffered at the end of the regular season. Randle did not play during the fourth quarter of the Knicks' recent victory. The 28-year-old sprained his ankle during a win over the Miami Heat on March 29th, but was able to suit up for the Game 1 of the first round. He was not in the locker room by the time the media was allowed to enter following Sunday's game. Kyle Busch is taking home the checkered flag at Talladega in the Geico 500 from Lincoln. The number 8 car survived a late wreck and won the race under caution during the second overtime. Busch won his second race of the NASCAR Cup Series season, with the first coming at the Pala Casino 400 back in February. Ryan Blaney, Chris Buescher, Chase Briscoe, and Brad Keselowski rounded out the top 5 finishers. The drivers head to Dover for the Worth 400 next Sunday. And former UFC superstar Nate Diaz was shockingly filmed choking out a man in a street brawl in New Orleans. Diaz, who's 38, had just attended a boxing card Friday night at the XULA Convention Center to support teammate Chris Avila in Avila's victory over Paul Bamba. Video captured Diaz wrapping the man's neck in a guillotine choke, leaving him out cold and lying in the street. Bloody Elbow reported Diaz's curbside opponent is Rodney Peterson, a TikTok star known for looking like Logan Paul, the brother of Jake Paul. Diaz and Jake Paul are scheduled to box later this year. It's not clear what started the fight, but there's a woman who can be heard screaming for both of them to stop.
Of course, that's like part of the. Everybody knows there's going to be two people and then a woman screaming stop. That's part of a street fight.
There's another video that shows Dana White reacting to the viral video, asking if the man was Logan Paul.
Have you seen the video?
No, looks like him, I guess.
In the video, there's something happening. It's not just him. There's other people fighting. And a guy comes up, and he does look like Logan Paul, comes up to Nate Diaz, and Nate you can tell he's ready to just throw a fist, right? Because it's a fight, and you just run up to somebody.
Yeah.
And the guy's got his hands up, and this is probably where he might get in trouble. He's got his hands up, and Nate just wraps him up and puts him to sleep and then walks away.
Damn.
I mean, the aggressiveness, I didn't see a lot of aggressiveness from Diaz. If anything, you could say he was defending himself, but the guy did come up to him with his arms up, which hardly means I'm not going to hurt you.
Right. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay at 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, Plain Jane, right?
Okay.
Haven't found anything yet. Haven't found anything yet. A lot of, these are the 28 best things to know before getting a boob job, or the 10 best dating apps, blah, 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 blah. But nothing in here, fakeboobsonly.com.
Okay. I Googled Double D dating website.
Was double spelled out, or you just put two big D's on there?
No, I wrote Double D dating website, and there isn't one. One does not come up.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that there are websites that get
on our trademark.
Yeah, absolutely. There needs to be.
People are vain.
Yep.
So my whole thing, if that was my company, is that you would have to do that across the board. So if you're going to have, doubleddating.com, then you got to have, tubuku.com.
Right. 9 inches or more.com.
Yeah. If whatever that
Whatever
is.
it is, yeah. I'm almost afraid to type that in.
Just like people are into feet. Like there should be a website that if you want to date someone who loves dealing with feet as a woman and you're comfortable, like there are people that's that rowboat has 2 oars,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What did you find?
Is there one?
Fatu. It says foot fetish dating platform. Feet worship and femdom chat. Fetish sex dating, the online kink community.
Yeah, I mean,
there's. I was just looking for dating sites about foot fetishes.
I guess that'd be a subgenre of BDSM, right? So
yeah, sure. Footfetishdating.com. Click. Footfetishmatch.com. So they do have websites that will get down into it in certain aspects, in certain areas. Giant schlongs or, mega boob isn't one of them. But feet. Why?
Lindsay, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically they want to know, are any of them still single? I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, pleasant on the eyes, and very capable of intelligent conversation. For the record, if you write that in there, I know you're not. Just saying, because if you were, you'd say something intelligent.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lindsay? How do you find a well-endowed man or person?
I don't know.
Oh,
I mean, I would say I found mine. I'm not looking.
Too late.
Yeah.
All right. What's done is done.
So I would say maybe join a matchmaker. Ask a matchmaker to help you out. I feel like that would be something that would be on a matchmaking site.
Right, but don't you think there's room for fibbing on that?
Yeah,
You get to
definitely.
embellish a lot on those.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Picture of you and a dog, and they're like, "Oh, where's your dog? I don't have a dog."
Mhm.
Oh, there's a picture of you on your dating profile. Yeah,
About that. That was my friend's dog, and I
Yeah.
thought it would just,
it's a great picture of me.
bring you in.
They do say that people with dogs in their profile pictures
Totally.
get lots of hits.
You want to, if you're a single guy, there are two ways to pick up women, in my opinion.
Mm.
A dog at a park.
Mm-hmm.
Go to a dog park. You will find probably a woman with a dog.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
God, I hope so.
Offer
Yeah.
to pick up your friend's kids
Mm.
at school
Mm.
where you have to walk in.
Oh, yeah. Single mom, single dad.
Just saying. Right? That would be the way to do it.
Mhm.
All right. But Lindsay, well endowed.
Yeah, I would say get on a match. Hire a matchmaker. Hire a matchmaker. I don't think you're ever going to just find someone well endowed unless you are looking on someone's OnlyFans page, maybe. I would say a guy that has some junk is going to start his own page if he's single.
Gimpy.
I don't know. I don't know where to start, and I don't want to know where to start. So my advice to this person is figure it out your damn self. All right? Go find somebody and ask them if they got a big schlonger. And if
for
that's
tight
the
pants.
answer's yes, then okay, well, you're going to have to figure it out for yourself, but then there you got your answer. But I don't know. I have never searched for a guy with a huge schlong. I have no desire to search for a guy with a huge schlong. Now I'm out. I have no advice for you.
If you asked me where to find information on molecular science, I wouldn't be able to help you. Nor am I a resource for this. I'm just making an assumption. You might be focusing on the wrong thing,
Eyes up here, lady.
Yeah.
right?
Right.
If your objective is just to get that,
Mm,
go to the bar and ask guys.
absolutely.
They will gladly tell you.
Mm,
And be ready to call them out on it because every guy is going to say they're a horse. That the Jolly Green Giant ain't got nothing on them.
when I had first pierced mine way back when I was in high school, you're proud of it. And I was talking to this gal, Amber, I think is what her name was. And I was telling her about it. Oh, yeah, penis is pierced, did it myself, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's it. Okay. So I had no choice but to present myself to her. Oh, it just goes to prove his point. You're going to have to be prepared for them to, whip it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're going to have to be very assertive. Did you end up sleeping with her?
No, I didn't.
Interesting.
Why you say that?
I asked for the dessert tray. I'm getting dessert.
Not if it's ugly.
I don't know anything about that. Viral video shows car dealer peeing on woman's ID. This happens in the beautiful state of Wisconsin. Police there are looking into a viral video that appears to show a car dealership urinating on a woman's driver's license. In a Facebook post, the victim said she left her ID at a used car dealership in Kenosha over the weekend. A few hours later, she was home eating cheese and then was horrified to see a video of someone peeing on it, making the rounds on social media. It's unclear if anyone will be held accountable. On a positive note, the dealership wants to offer the victim a free car. Yeah. She apparently was trying to buy a car, changed her mind, called and said, I've left my ID. I'll send you $5. When you get the $5, will you mail me my ID?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they were like, oh, yeah, we'll mail it.
Uh-huh.
And then it shows them saying the name and everything, full stream. The video's on our name onto this woman's ID. I am no expert in the automotive industry. Lindsay, for sure, in the room is the automotive expert. Her husband works at a dealership. I know Gimpy has worked at a dealership.
Mhm.
So I am by far not the expert. I will, however, say I think they're
Definitely.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Definitely.
If you get to keep your job after pissing on somebody's license, man, there's something wrong with management at that position.
Yeah.
now I can wrap my head around the idea that they were, they worked really hard on the deal and, working on commission and, that's going to put food on the table. And he was just pissed.
Yeah. Unless this customer completely was.
Nope.
No. Hear me.
There's
hear me.
no rational reason why you should be. Hold on. There's no rational reason why anyone should urinate on anyone else or on an ID.
I agree with you. So unless this customer was, completely awful to the person working there, and the person that works there is their number one salesperson, that's the only way they're going to keep that job if they are their number
keep
one.
The job.
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to argue why someone should piss on someone's ID.
No.
There's no reason.
No.
I don't care if that ID was stung by a jellyfish. No.
Right.
No, there's no reason.
It seems like a weird flex.
No.
You don't look cool.
No.
You look dehydrated, to be honest. I'm going to read this headline. This is real. Horses sue the federal government over them being exiled to an island.
Did you get that from The Onion?
No.
Horses
Hired
a lawyer. And they're like, hey.
From what
Mr. Ed.
I know you want to say nay, but
I mean.
So they're suing the federal government and the national park. Win today and... Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Happy 34th porn star birthday to Keisha Ortega. You can see this Venezuelan import in Two Asses is Better Than One, Busty, Sex Maniac 2, and Naughty Nurses. She was nominated for Female Performer of the Year in 2019.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning, Corbin. This is the last time I am going to say this. But join us tonight at the Arena Pub for our official pre-party for our 50th anniversary concert with Shinedown 3 Days Grace going on at the BOK Center tonight. We'll be at the Arena Pub from 5 to 7, broadcasting live, giving away stuff, and having cold beers.
And we're qualifying people for CMall 2023. Make sure you're listening for that cue later. I'll tell you when it's going to play later this afternoon. But Chrissy Smith of Wawasso just heard it. So now Chrissy is qualified for a chance to see every concert KMOD is a part of, including VIP Weekend Rocklahoma tickets. And it looks like about 11:35 is when the next cue is going to play, right before Kenny Wayne Shepherd. So be listening for that. Your chance to get qualified to see every concert KMOD is a part of. Brought to you by Shinerbach and 97.5 KMOD. Joining us in the studio is our friend Jeff Hensley from Hensley & Associates. Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, good morning.
And you can ask any question to Jeff you want. Divorce, custody, guardianship, family law scenarios is what the folks at Hensley & Associates do, and why Jeff is here to answer questions about that. So get your question to us, 918-460-KMOD, 918-460-KMOD. This email we got earlier today says, hey, Jeff, me and my wife are getting divorced. She wants alimony and child support. We were married for 20 years and separated since September. Am I obligated to pay the alimony now along with child support, or does that start when the divorce is finalized? The lawyer I have says I have to pay something to her so it'll look good for me when we do our court, so I'm paying child support.
Okay, so you should always be paying something for child support, whether there's a calculation or not, because two reasons. A, kids cost, or I guess there's three reasons. A, kids cost. B, most likely there's going to be a comp done later and you're going to owe anyway. So you don't want to build up any more arrearages than you need to. Okay. And number three is that, judges look at that and go, well, you should have been paying something this whole time. So it doesn't hurt. And you should pay something because kids cost, we all know that. And there's going to be a comp. So that's the child support side of it. As far as the alimony is concerned, in the state of Oklahoma, it's it's need and ability to pay. So the person that's asking for it, the burden is on them to show first that they have a need, okay? And a need is based, there's no strict definition of what need is or anything like that. We're not like other states where it's super defined or super laid out. But the idea behind it is for example, if they've been married 20 years and she's been a stay-at-home mom the whole time and hasn't worked in 20 years, she's probably going to get alimony. She has a need. Now, with that being said, when you're looking at need or the court's looking at need, it takes it from a global perspective, all right? So she may be a stay-at-home mom, but in the divorce settlement or her half of the marital estate, if she gets $5 million worth of stuff, like half of a 401k or, her payout of the house or whatever it may be, or stocks, bond, the judge has to look at it as a global perspective. So if you get a ton of money from the marital estate, your need kind of goes boop and kind of dies. You know what I mean? It goes down. So the judge has to look at it from a global perspective. But let's say it's like most of us, where we don't have tons of money in the estate, and they've been married 20 years and she's been staying at home. She's going to get some sort of alimony if he has the ability to pay. Now, that's the other thing, is the person asking for it then has to show the court that the person has the ability to pay. So if you've been married 20 years, but the other side only makes $2,500 a month, the ability to pay obviously is probably not there. So it's taken on a case-by-case basis. A lot of times, if the other side needs alimony right away, they'll file a motion for suit money, okay, which is basically asking the court to do an early calculation on alimony and deal with it early as opposed to later on. So that's kind of how it's broken down.
I've never thought of it until the question was asked there, but you go through a divorce and there's custody, and who knows when you're going to get in front of a judge, and your guidance is you should pay something right away. How do you know where to the other party? You'd be like, yeah, I'm going to wait for a judge or someone to tell me to pay. I'm not just going to pay, but that's not what you're saying.
Well, and here's why. Okay. The problem is that you should pay something, again, because of the reasons I listed, but also too, the longer you go without paying something and there's a calculation done later, and let's say it's 6 months down the road for whatever strange reason. Okay. It shouldn't be 6 months, but let's say it is for some reason. So not only do you have to pay your current amount, you didn't pay from the date of filing or the date of separation. So do yourself a favor and start paying something to reduce that arrearage, so that when it is calculated 100%, you don't owe a huge, gigantic amount. I mean, that's my biggest thing, is you don't want to go any longer than you have to, or pay those arrearages if you don't have to. And we can do a what if. I mean, we can do a, well, if these facts are true, then this is what it's going to be owed. Start paying this. I mean, there's ways to calculate that initially. So again, you don't want to build up that arrearage unless you just want to be stubborn, which people are. I just wouldn't do it.
But if I'm listening, this is kind of a two-part question, is if I'm listening and my attorney hasn't guided me, not only should I change to Hensley and Associates, but
Right.
what should be the amount? Well, I know that depends. I know you're going to say
It all
depends.
I mean, and
But
it depends on the parties.
likewise, if I'm listening and I'm going through divorce and the other party hasn't started to pay me, how do I get them to start paying me?
Well, again, when we initially start a case, we file for a temporary order, and that's typically where the calculation comes in. All right. Unless there's DHS involved, and then there might be a DHS hearing along the way or something like that to get all that calculated. But as far as getting them, I mean, first of all, talk to them. The worst they can say is no. All right. And otherwise, you've got to wait until there's an order in place, or there's something done that allows that to start happening. I mean, a lot of times people talk and say, look, I need this, I need that. And here's the other caveat. If you're going to help out the other side, that's great. Okay. But remember, you want to make sure you mark it as child support. All right. So she says, hey, I need $100 so I can buy diapers and wipes and things like that. Be sure and give it to her in some form and write the word child support on it. Otherwise, it's considered a gift and you're screwed. Okay. So be sure, if you're going to do that, which is great, which is fine. You're doing something, but you want to make sure that money counts towards any arrearages that are calculated, and you want to make sure it's not listed as a gift.
Jeff
Protect
Hensley.
yourself.
Jeff Hensley from Hensley and Associates is joining us. The phone number 918-460-KMOD, or you can text your question BMMS and what that is to 82945. It says if we go to court and she does not have money for an attorney, what happens then? Is everything at a standstill, or do we move forward with the process, or does she get time to get one?
Okay, so
Good question.
it is a good question, but so here's how it goes. If somebody shows up to court and they don't have an attorney, they have options. The first is they can represent themselves. All right, that's called pro se. All right, but the thing about that is the judge will hold you to the exact same standards as a licensed and practicing attorney, as far as everything that goes on, as far as discovery and the evidence code and all these things. Okay, not a smart move. All right. The very first time they show up, they can ask the court and say, yes, I would like to have 30 days extra. I'd like to have 30 more days to be able to hire an attorney. That can be granted. All right. And most judges, no matter what, are going to grant it. All right. Because guess what? Judges don't like dealing with pro se people any more than attorneys do. All right. And it's not because we don't like pro se people. It's just that it makes it more difficult when you're trying to talk to somebody about the law who knows nothing about the law. Okay. So it's nothing rude or being personal against you about it. It's just that if you don't know what you're doing, it makes it harder on the people that do. With that being said, they can take that 30 days, and every judge that I've ever been in front of in 15 years has always granted that extra time. So you can whine and complain all you want, but it's going to happen at least once. All right. Now, if you come back after the 30 days and they still don't have an attorney and they ask for more time after that, it is a rare occurrence that the judge is going to grant more time, because the judge knows that person may be trying to delay and they don't want to delay it. So either way, the case is going to move forward. It just may be delayed 30 days, but it is going to move forward whether they have an attorney or not, period.
They're always going to do as much as they can to make sure opportunity has been given.
Correct.
Jeff Hensley's joining us from Hensley and Associates. You can always ask a question right now. 918-460-KMOD is the phone number. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. This email we got last week says, I have a guardianship of my niece. I filed for child support from the mother and father. It's been a year and a half, and I'm still waiting to hear anything on the father.
As far as child support, I mean, if you filed on them, that means DHS is trying to contact or trying to find them so they can start collecting, okay? And collection, no matter if it's through DHS or a private attorney, can always be difficult sometimes, especially if the individual is A, getting paid under the table, all right? B, has no bank account to levy. C, doesn't have a job at all and is using drugs or whatever and is living in a ditch or, is homeless. Those kind of things make it impossible to collect. It really makes it very difficult. But as somebody who's a regular person like all of us, who has a job, who works hours and has a bank account and stuff, it makes it much easier to find them. This individual you're talking about, if you'll give me a call, I'd like to get more specifics on what's going on, because I don't understand why it would take that long unless the individual just doesn't have a job or doesn't have a bank account and is not responding to anything that they're sending them. So
because people are people, maybe is it possible that maybe it's fallen through the cracks or it got put in a different pile? And does that happen sometimes with cases in DHS?
I'm being careful here because the head of DHS here in Tulsa is a good friend of mine I went to law school with. So no, the attorneys especially try to do it. First of all, they're way overworked, all of them. And you attorneys at DHS that are listening out there that know me, you guys do a great job and we're grateful for everything you do. But I understand you guys are overworked.
Sure.
There's not enough people to help. I don't think anything falls through the cracks. It's just remember that for example, one DHS attorney may have anywhere from 4,000 to 7,000 cases they're in charge of. So does it fall through the cracks? Not necessarily. It's just that they're dealing with 7,000 cases.
Right.
7,000 collection cases with maybe 1 or 2 workers to help them, as opposed to the old days where they had like 12 assistants to help them. Okay. So I don't think it falls through the cracks. I think it's just the sheer volume of what they've got to deal with. It just takes a while to get through that rotation. It takes a while to go through. If you're going to touch every one of those cases at some point, which I know they all do, it's just going to take some time. So I don't think it falls through the cracks. I really think it's just the sheer volume of what those poor attorneys have to deal with.
But is there any babysitting that has to be done on your end where you can call and check in on it and it gets moved to the top of the pile or anything
Well,
like that?
I mean, the person that's involved in it, as far as either side, can always call and say, "Hey, where is this at? What's going on?" Yes, they can always reach out to DHS to find out what's going on, to kind of, see where things are at and what's the next step. Absolutely. Or you can hire a private attorney like us, and we can push it through quicker.
Which is the best plan because they already know the back channels to make things happen. Jeff Hensley, okay, so been to court years ago and court papers say 50-50, but I have had the kids the last 6 years. The kids haven't stayed overnight, seen the parent, nothing. I've tried to contact the parent to help pay with the kids and zero. Can I go back to court and get back child support? Kids are now over age.
So you can go back. Well, no, I mean, the boat is sailed at that point. You have to do it before they age out. And what should have happened is after 6 months of living with him, he should have filed a motion to modify then and gotten child support moving forward. Okay. The boat's kind of sailed. You can't file now and say, well, I took the kids 6 years ago and I want all that support. The law doesn't allow for that. Okay. Now, if you file for a modification or whatever, and it takes 2 years to get to a hearing or a trial, you can get those 2 years back to your date of filing. That makes sense? But anything prior to that, it's just, you missed it. So unfortunately, in this case, no.
I've heard you say this phrase before, and I think about it a lot when people want to go much later after the fact to court and deal with something is, why now?
Right. Well, and, sometimes you get ones where the kids are now in their late 20s and it's been 10 years. Trying to collect on those is getting harder and harder. We've had a really good success rate at my firm collecting on the back support owed, but the laws are getting harder on that. There's, as I've talked about before, there's something called equitable estoppel. And what that means is that equity, remember, the court's always a court of equity as well. Equity says that you should be stopped or prevented from trying to collect all that because you've had 10 years to collect and now you're just trying to deal with it. So it's getting harder and harder to collect on those. So, if you want to collect it, let's do it now and not wait 10 years. Give me a call.
Jeff from Hensley & Associates is in the studio. Get your question to us, 918-460-KMOD, or you can text it, BMMS, and whatever that is, to 82945. It's going to be, I know the answer to this, but I'm going to read the question anyway. In what situations will courts require the non-custodial parent to only have supervised visitation? Drugs, abuse, etc. Obviously. What about if the parent knows nothing about children, has never been alone with an infant? Our child is 8 months old and is generally a reckless person who drives while under the influence of marijuana, grows marijuana, has marijuana lying around everywhere.
Are we talking about Gimpy?
And has just horrible judgment. I'm so scared for my child to be alone with this person. I think this is a fair question that a lot of parents sometimes feel when they've got to hand their child over to the other parent who's never been around. But what does the court say, or what is their expectations?
You have a right to see your kid in,
regardless of experience?
Right. Because how many of us are born with experience with kids? All right. And unless you've done, I guess unless you've done tons of babysitting, obviously with young infants and things like that, which a lot of, I guess there's guys out there that do, but the best majority is female. Right. Okay. But for some reason, I'll give my personal experience in it. I hope my wife is still asleep and not listening to this. But here's my personal experience. Okay. So, I grew up around kids. My parents had a goddaughter that I, changed diapers on when I was 12 or 14, helping out and all these other things. And I've always been really good with little kids. Always have been. I don't know. It has been that way. And so it wasn't like I hadn't been around little kids. All right. So when we had our first kid, my wife was still of that mentality of, wow, I don't feel comfortable yet because I don't know that he knows what he's doing. Well, even though she knew, I'm also crippled by the fact of, she's got pediatrician training and all those other things. So she does know the medical side of things. But, as far as feeding, burping, changing diapers, guys, diapers ain't that hard. It took a while for her to get comfortable with it, even though she knew better, So, and I think it's part of that is, first time mom and all that and being overly protective. And I totally get that vibe and respect it. Always have. Of course, after our first, it wasn't like that because obviously I'd already had a 2-year rodeo before our second one showed up. So, but I think in this particular case, I understand if you're worried about somebody who's doing drugs, who is driving recklessly, who may or may not have a criminal record. I mean, there's ways to handle that where you can say, I'm not just going to throw the kid in the deep into the pool and let him just go over there. Okay. So a lot of times the way the law handle these or the way judges handle this is that you do a step-up visitation kind of thing. So in other words, there are articles out there from psychologists and everything that say that, the kid needs to have multiple continuing contact with the parents. So what'll happen is that, they'll say, Dad, you get to go over for 2 hours on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then it graduates to more time. And then finally overnights and all these other things. So there's that potential there. But if you got somebody like this, I would say to the court, we've got some concerns. We'd like them to take some parenting classes, which they're getting more and more common to do. And I think everybody should take them anyway, just because you learn a lot of good things from it. But at the same time, too, there's ways to protect your child if you're worried about these kind of things, if these things are indeed happening. So the judge isn't going to just throw the kid in the deep end of the pool and hope they stay afloat. Judge's job is to protect the children. No matter what judge it is, what county it's in, what state it's in, the judge's job is always to protect the children. So the judge is going to do something to make sure that child is protected.
And quickly, the concern about weed and the reckless driving under weed and all these things that they're speculating on, whether they have knowledge or not.
Well, and that's getting to be more of a gray area in the law simply because of the medical marijuana cards, right? And we all know that getting the card is not difficult, all right? Or if you didn't know, it's not. And so the judge has to look at it from a perspective of, are they using what's, quote, prescribed? Are they overusing? Is this just, they want to make sure that child is safe. So they may say, okay, no smoking marijuana or using edibles or whatever it may be while you've got the child or while driving with. I mean, there's ways for the judge to put in protections to make sure that child is safe. And if the person violates it, very simple. You file a contempt, you suspend their visitation, and we go from there.
A couple more here. My sister is with a drug dealer who claims he is a blood gang member, and I reported him to the police, but they won't do anything. How do I get rid of this guy? He's around my nieces who are toddlers, and my whole family is afraid for their lives.
I don't know.
This is not a legal matter.
This is not right. This is not a legal matter. Not really. Not until he does something to put somebody in harm's way or to hurt somebody. I don't know who this guy is. Maybe he is a blood. Maybe he's not. I understand. As a parent, I understand the concern. But again, our system is reactionary. It always has been. Until something happens, there's nothing the court system can do. And so, maybe he's. I don't know. I don't know enough about those issues as far as gang members and stuff. But if you're concerned, you can talk to your niece about your concern. She can either listen, because I'm guessing she's probably adult age or at least 18, which makes her an adult. She can either listen politely or go off and do precisely what she wants, as the old saying goes. So, this is not a legal matter yet. If something happens to the kids, then it becomes a legal matter. Give me a call then.
My stepdaughter had child support ordered 10 years ago. She just turned 16 and finally started getting her child support 6 months ago. Will she ever receive the last 10 years of child support, or is she going to age out at 18?
So even though she would age out at 18, if there was an order from 10 years ago that has been unpaid, that means there's 10 years of arrears. And that can be collected on even after she ages out, because it was an existing order. There's an existing order that can still be enforced. But again, once she ages, what they should be doing now is, if she's collecting now on it, they should be able to file a contempt and figure out an arrearage amount, hit them with that, and they can start paying on that. And that will continue to be collected even after she ages out, because it's existing orders.
Last one. I'm trying to get my son's dad on his birth certificate. DHS told me I have to have a lawyer to put together paperwork, said the acknowledgement of paternity and application, but we have that signed and notarized. Do we have to have a lawyer?
I'm thinking.
DHS doesn't handle birth certificates, though, right?
Well,
state records.
It's state records, but DHS kind of funnels through that stuff too. So if you've got a signed acknowledgement and you're wanting to put them on the birth certificate, usually, okay, so if you go to the website for the Office of Vital Statistics and Records of the state of Oklahoma, all right, and go to birth certificates, there's an entire explanation on how to get somebody on a birth certificate and the items you need. You don't need to file something. You don't need to file a paternity action per se, just for a birth certificate. All right. So go to that website. I forget what it is, but it's the Office of Vital Statistics and Records, okay, for the state of Oklahoma. Go to birth certificates, and it'll tell you exactly how to do that.
Look, these things can be hairy to navigate. Sometimes you are aware of a gang affiliation. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you want to know about child support, how much you should start paying now. And the best bet is to talk to Hensley & Associates are just those. So 918-398-2 is the phone number for Hensley & Associates. Mention KMOD and they will give you a free consultation over the phone and answer some of those questions for you that you could go into a little more. Got to call 918-398-5692, 918-398-5692 for Hensley & Associates. And the scope of law that you guys practice is expanding, not just family law anymore.
Right. So with our office in Pawhuska, which is part of Hensley, they're handling, in addition to the family law and criminal law cases up there, and those criminal cases, if you've been hurt in a car wreck, please give us a call. We'd love to help you with that. If you've been damaged by somebody in the medical field, we'd like to talk to you about your case as well. Anything outside of family law, they do up there, and they love doing that stuff in addition to family law. We've also got a young attorney up there who is a native speaker who is now doing immigration for us. So if you have an immigration issue out there and you need help, please give us a call, and we'd love to help you.
Best bet is to call 918-398-5692 for Hensley & Associates. Free consultation. Jeff, have a great week.
Hey, you too.
Take a break and we'll be back.
You're listening to the Big
Is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage, if she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man. Who can do? Honestly, just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's gonna be mad AF for a long time, and you're gonna have to deal with it. There's not gonna be any time going out with abs, and if you can't handle it, you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball and I'm going to go home and then I'll come back and play the game another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's nothing really to do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry. I have no gimmick for you that will work. You tell her you want it to work, that mistake, and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that. You got your answer. It's pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
You have to eat your S sandwich. And when you go on and date in the future and be asked what happened with your marriage, you got to be honest. You S'd the bed royally. And so either you tell her what you want and hope she appeases you, but why beg someone to be with you? The Huffington Post has a list of the rudest things to avoid when you're visiting someone's home, like things you shouldn't do, right?
Okay.
Touching or moving things.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so like I'm guilty of this though. Like if a picture
I'm shocked.
If a picture is crooked hanging on the wall, I'll straighten it.
Why?
No.
Why? It's not yours.
Exactly.
Nope. Because I'm sure that it wasn't supposed to be crooked.
You don't know that. Some people like things off kilter like that.
I'll even mention it. I'm gonna fix that.
Oh, that's rude. That's like, like the cliche of like a mom coming in like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh, yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I love snooping around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if your bedrooms aren't clean or the bathroom's not clean?
Then they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Susan, they shouldn't be having company over if that's the case. Bedroom, maybe. Right. Bathrooms, though, clean that ass up if you're having company come over.
Another one, overstaying your welcome.
Right.
How long? What's the good amount of time to stay at someone's house?
Depends on what the activity is.
Yeah,
Let's say dinner.
Oh, okay.
couple hours.
2 hours after dinner. After 2 hours.
So you show up at 6, 8, get out.
Because now it's time for the family to wind down.
Yeah.
And start doing their own nightly routine.
And I think it depends on who it is too. Like you always know, I think, depending on which friend it is.
Snooping.
Oof.
Yeah.
Going opening the cabinet
Yeah, you
to
don't
look
do
through the
that.
medicine cabinet. You feel like you give the vibe that you do that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, it's not an insult. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it gives a vibe.
Why? What gives
Because you're
you that
nosy.
vibe?
You're very nosy.
What makes me nosy?
Well, you'll walk into a room when a conversation's happening going, wait, what are we talking about?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You love knowing other people's gossip?
Yeah. I'll watch those gossip shows.
No, I'm talking
they're
like
there
personal
for.
gossip. I'm not talking about TV shows.
Yeah, if we're here, I don't want to miss out on anything, for sure.
Yeah, that's nosy.
Yeah.
+1.
Yeah. Because other people to like entertain somebody they don't know. It just makes
Right. Or
everything.
don't
Yeah.
like.
Exactly. And it's not your place to be inviting somebody else over.
Feeding their dog.
Huh? Oh, like table scraps or something?
I think that's what they mean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you'd be like, where's your chow chow so I can put it in the
Mhm.
bowl? Yeah. Some people do that. Some people think that because they feed their dogs table scraps or popcorn or whatever,
Yeah.
that they can do that with your dog.
That's good that your dog's stomach is adapted to that. But now you're going to make your friend's dog crap all over their house because
Showing up empty-handed.
bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No?
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
Yeah. I always take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Always, always.
All right. I usually got my medicine on me, so that just works out perfectly.
Yeah, but that's not extra, right? Like I said, it's like offering him a cigarette.
Right. I don't have to share with you, though. That's the thing. I don't have to.
Yes, but you're not going out of your way is the point, right?
Listen, I'm the for the potluck that we're having here at work, okay? Do you expect more from me?
Yeah, I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still,
Mhm.
you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
Even
my
a
appetite.
dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No?
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so. Hey, bring a bottle, bring a side item. Well, of course, that happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house
Mhm.
and like looked around and said to myself, "That's so dirty here."
Oh.
Ugh.
Wow.
What do they have lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets, they didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that
Oh, I bet you have.
down my
No.
nose at you.
because life happens.
Mhm. Depends on the level of the filth, right? If you walk into somebody's house,
If you're
and
a
it looks like
hoarder?
hoarders, yeah, exactly.
I ain't going to your house. I already
Yeah.
know you're a hoarder.
But this is the first time you didn't realize that they were disgusting people or hoarders until you walk into their house,
oh,
right?
no. You
get
can read a
totally
hoarder a
thrown
mile
off guard.
away. No, you can read her a mile away.
Hoarder.
Yeah, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
You just tell by the way they dress, their lack of showering.
Or by their vehicle.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, right? I think absolutely.
Mhm. But you still don't say anything. You just kind of watch where you sit down, maybe scooch the newspapers or whatever,
Yeah.
paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them and hang out for a little bit. And I got to go. I got it.
If I'm going to
Kids.
judge, I'm judging, like, I'm going to judge the food.
Mm.
So I'm not going to judge, like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
Mhm.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to get all like, ugh, You didn't clean for my arrival.
Right. 'Cause you're right. Life happens,
Life
especially
happens.
if you've got small
Oh,
children.
and you're having a dinner party.
Right. You can expect toys to be all over the place. Now, there's a difference between, a little clutter, kids don't know how to pick up their toys, and your house looks like Ross.
50th anniversary party. Pretty rare thing in radio, much less rock radio. And tonight we're celebrating down in 3 Days Grace. BOK Center. Pre-party is going to be at the arena, right across from the BOK Center.
Rock and roll!
We've got swag from Budweiser, specials on Budweiser, and autographed guitar. You got to stop by. Lindsay, I'm letting you pick inappropriate or inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
Which one?
Inappropriate.
Right.
Not inappropriate.
Okay, just want to make sure. So the CEO of NBC Universal has been fired, golden parachuted, because he started having a relationship with one of the TV anchors on CNBC. The alleged affair was exposed during an investigation by outside. He apparently said yesterday, "Today is my last day as the CEO. I had in the company, which I deeply regret." Married, by the way, or at least was.
Yeah.
I'm truly sorry to let my Comcast and NBC Universal colleagues down. They are the most talented people in the business, and the opportunity to work with them for the last 10 years has been a privilege. The woman that he had an affair with was identified by online website as the anchor and senior international correspondent, Hadley Gamble. The outlet said the pair started a relationship 11 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And kept it going sporadically for the last 10 years. Now, he's 57, she's 41. That means anything to any of you. He's married. He's been with the company for a total of 2 decades. He ran the entertainment wing for Comcast and the Peacock streaming service. She previously made news when she was accused by Russian state media of acting like a sexual object to distract Russian President Vladimir Putin, with state outlets even suggesting she was part of the U.S.'s special operation. She only goes after CEOs. The allegation came after she interviewed Putin at a Russian Energy Week panel in Moscow in October of 21. Before taking over CEO, Jeff Shell served as chairman of Universal Film. Oh, man, the trouble you cause by doing that and the money he was making. Right?
Now he's got to start all over again. I'm sure he's going to have to pay some alimony in there to his old lady if they decided to split up.
His salary, by the way, last year. So, like, have you ever had a job where you get something free? Like, let's say you're a bartender.
Yeah.
And you get free drinks, right?
Yeah, man, yeah.
You're like, I'm not messing this up. I get free beer.
Good gig.
Right? Or I know people that work at Arrowhead, right? For Chiefs games. And they're like, I'm not messing this up. I get to go to the games.
Absolutely.
Right? I like doing the fights because I get to be cage side and watch. I have the best seat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to mess that up. This cat apparently $21.6 million a year felt like that vagina was worth it.
$21.5 million.
Listen, it ain't much, but I don't want to sell him short. 21.6.
Yeah, whatever. Dude's making $21 million a year.
He thought he was untouchable.
Yeah. Well, that sucks.
And you have a relationship for that long. You're having a double life.
Oh,
right?
yeah. That's not, I just, got drunk and cheated. That's a full-blown affair, man. That's like you're having to split up, figure out how to take family vacations and go on vacation.
Yeah.
Christmas gifts.
Christmas gifts, birthday gifts. Have you met her family? I'm sure after 11 years. Surely 11 years, it's not just a simple, we do this at work and that's
I don't
it.
know. You're implying that people that have affairs meet the other party's family.
Well,
I don't know if that's true.
See, now here's the deal. I mean, surely she knew that he was married, surely, and kept it going for. Surely she knew that, but Maybe she didn't think of it as an affair. Maybe to her it was an actual relationship. Maybe she didn't know about his family, his wife and kids. So they thought so. It's a possibility.
Hey, come on. I think if it was Joe with the
Mm.
guy in accounting,
Mm.
okay,
Mm.
Right.
I'm buying what you're selling. He's the head of the network.
Right.
He's
She
the CEO.
knows.
He goes to events with her.
Mm. Oh, with his old lady.
Of course he
Right,
does.
right,
They go to
okay.
charities and
Right.
balls and all that
Yeah.
stupid stuff.
Maybe.
Balls.
Or she's, his old lady's at home with the kids, or the pool boy.
Okay,
or
I'll buy
whatever,
that.
But
While
it's-
he's taking the mistress out to these events.
It's got to be public knowledge anyways, right? Like you Google the guy, I'm sure the picture of him and his wife pops up somewhere. Or she's got a friend, who you dating? She tells them and like, he's married.
Yeah, you
right?
can't tell
know?
people we're dating.
Yeah.
Hey, be seen with you in the NBC cafeteria.
Yeah.
But it's pizza day.
It is potato bar. They are so good.
Yes.
Maybe it's a possibility. Maybe she did. She didn't even care or whatever.
Are
but-
there rules for an affair?
What do you mean?
Like, are there rules, or do you go over rules? Like, at what point when an affair started, do you go, hey,
Mhm.
this has been going on for a while and I'm never leaving my wife. So we need to come up with some rules.
Oh, I'm sure that maybe there is for some people.
Or is it only like as a need to know basis? So like, hey, I saw you called last night at 7. It was dinner time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can't call at 7.
Right. And that may be the case. Hey, don't bother me after 5, between the hours of 5 p.m. and
Yeah.
6 a.m.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But do those rules only come up as they are needed?
Yeah, it would make sense. It would make sense.
I would think you would
guess.
want to do that ahead of time. Establish
Yeah, but
the
see that
agreement ahead of time.
that could potentially cause your mistress to run away, be like ooh, rules straight out the bat.
Not too far deep.
Mhm.
And she was like, listen, you're going to keep me on the lamb, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm going to tell everyone.
On the line. On the lamb
yeah.
assumes that you're running from the police.
Yeah, I'm running from getting caught,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
She's running from the police, but it ain't the popo,
Right.
The wife.
Mhm.
So like, you're going to pay for everything. You're still going to do like,
That's a possibility too. That is a huge
and
possibility.
he was like, I don't know what to do.
Hey,
Mhm.
guys making $21.6 million a year. I'm sure he took well care of her.
Yeah. Is he paying for a mortgage payment or
But even then,
fancy
like,
car?
Mhm.
then, and it just, she's just like a derp. I guess maybe when you make that much money, you just, or, helmets for the kids or whatever.
Oh, so
Yeah.
far as his wife or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't want to paint it as she's just an aloof. Like,
Mhm.
she was a cheater in California.
Mhm.
And maybe they have that arrangement.
That's true too.
We don't know that much. We're just assuming off of how we would deal with things,
Yeah.
Maybe they have that arrangement. You do what you want to do. I do what I want to do.
Yeah.
The kids are happy. They're fine. Everybody's good. We make it look like we're happy together for the kids.
The most brilliant shows on television. I wish people would watch it more because it's that good. Anyway, in it, the main character who runs the company is having a relationship with a girl, and his wife is left to go live in their Italy home or whatever. But he's got this relationship, and he is like, she wants to be anchor, but I'm going to let you take care of it. And he's like, like they don't know what to do, right?
Right.
Because the boss, the owner's like, I don't want to be involved.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You guys, what's that mean?
Right.
Because you're gonna go tell her she's
Mhm.
like it puts anyway. He dies. She shows up at the wake or
Oh,
whatever,
geez. Oh, geez.
and the now wife is back,
Ugh.
and everybody's like, "Why is Marsha here? What's happening?" And Marsha's like, "We talked every night, intimately." And the kids are like, "What do you mean? Ew, what do you mean?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Was Dad playing both sides of the coin?"
Yep.
And so Marsha's like, "You can go to the mistress. Like,
Uh-huh.
she's like, "I'm here for my stuff." And she's like, "We already got it. back door. You're out of here. And you're like, whoa. Yeah, like the wife's been gone. And the mistress is like, I've been the one holding it together here.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
now
you ain't the wife.
And now she's just with the trash.
Yeah.
Dude, that show's brilliant. The idea of the rules of having to deal with an affair is like, I'm like, which way do we go in of the restaurant? I don't even know. Like, I got to look at a menu before we go eat somewhere. You want me to have get out of here. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back, find out what everybody learned.
Tulsa's morning show.
Messy. It doesn't eat well. You have to have a fork to eat a sandwich. I think that's retarded.
Oh, I liked it. Gnocchi.
Huh? Oh, okay. I've had that come in like a HelloFresh or something like that once. And I was like, what is this? What is this garbage?
Oh, you didn't enjoy it?
Lindsay.
5.
0.
Oh, my gosh.
I know it sounds crazy, but like when it comes to like the Big Ten of restaurants and foods and stuff, Italian's at the bottom of that list for me, man.
Somebody texted in and said, you think Zio's is delicious? You got to try Luigi's and Sky Took. So authentic. I think it's run by the actual Italian mob. I've had Luigi's and Sky Took. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's not like I go to Zio's and I order one of everything.
Right.
I worked there after college, and their 5 cheese pasta, adding chicken to it, was so good.
Yeah.
Their spinach artichoke dip, which isn't Italian, whatever, but it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The cannoli, yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli, with the Alfredo and the chicken stuff, so good there.
I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
That's the only Italian food that I really, 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 really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one. Pizza.
I've said it before, and you all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza. That's going to be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
Really?
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice short
food.
Ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in it.
No. So good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
I like Young Sheldon way more than the Big Bang Theory.
If you ever say that again, I'm going to call the HR department.
Why? Big Bang Theory is a giant turd.
That's the most offensive thing I think I've ever heard you say.
Young Sheldon it's not the Bang Theory.
I am so disappointed in you right now. You've done some things that are pretty crazy, and this might be the most disappointing thing I've ever heard you say.
He was the executive producer of Cowboys and Aliens.
I feel like run in succession on a lot of things, but this Young Sheldon thing has got me twisted.
Have you ever watched an episode?
I've watched enough to go, no.
If I gun to my head, you got to choose one, Young Sheldon or Big Bang Theory. I'm going to choose Young Sheldon, man.
No, I'm still a no. I'll pick Big. Yeah.
Why?
Because the girl. She's so hot. Kaylee Cuoco.
But everything else about that show negates her hotness.
I can turn it down.
It doesn't matter. You still got all those other
Doesn't
dorks.
matter.
David from Roseanne and, the old Sheldon. And I'm just like, yeah.
Her and David are the best characters on that show.
I'll give you that. But for the most part, the show is.
By the way, there's some people right now just so twisted up. I didn't pick the Bazing guy or whatever.
Whatever.
I don't even know his name.
I never watched either one of those.
I find that shocking.
Roseanne over either one of those.
I figured you would be in that. Here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think you're off a couple decades with Roseanne.
No, or the Connors. I'll watch the Connors over.
Again, I
either
think the
one.
Connors came way late, like almost at the very end
Oh,
Yeah.
the Big Bang?
of Big Bang. Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one that she was on with John Ritter.
Oh,
yeah.
Rules dating my teenage
Yes,
daughter, something
yes.
like that. Dating My Teenage Daughter
Yes.
or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Had Peggy Bundy in it as well.
Mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know that show either.
Yeah, that one was good. Because she played the blonde daughter that you like from
Yeah.
Big Bang. She played his daughter on that.
8 Simple Rules was the
Yes,
name
that
of
was
it.
it.
He
And,
doubled it.
I had to check it. That was a good
16.
series. That was a good
36
series.
rules.
It was.
How many rules you need to date your teenage daughter is,
Yeah.
arbitrary. This
Infinite.
guy needed 8. I need like 32.
8 of the show for dating the
I
daughter.
don't think they ever said.
I don't either.
I don't think they ever said.
Come on.
No, I don't think they ever did.
There had to have been. There had to have been rules, right?
Surely.
Found it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it had to have been
There
widely
actually
known. Big Man Morning Show. 918 KMOD. Tonight, 5 to 7, the arena downtown across from the BOK Center. That is where we will be for the pre-party for our 50th anniversary concert. Then we'll head over to Shinedown and 3 Days Grace right across the street. 50th anniversary party. Psyched to get it started. Lindsay, what'd you learn today?
I learned that cows in Texas don't have freedom of speech. They better watch their mouth when they're talking to their farmers. And Steph Curry and Corbin, they're basically the same man. They're twinning.
Gimpy, what'd you learn today?
Well, I learned nothing says I love you like a famous star and some waffle fries. I also learned that Lindsay's kid isn't the only one who's hit somebody in the back with a stick.
I learned castration by chain at 8 is a game changer. And I also learned you move that lacrosse stick just a little bit lower on their butt, it's considered a sign of good luck. Won't get you kicked off the team. It's Corbin saying make sure that dishwasher's loaded right.
It's Lindsay. Stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy, and I'm sorry.
Far too kind.
You believe maybe deep down inside he's really just a mean
Sure,
asshole.
who he is off screen is yeah, but we're talking about in the character.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. The character is like, oh, we're such a nice guy or whatever, 99% of the time, but you get that 1% that's never shown.
But
you know,
it's kind of like when Kevin Hart threatens you, you go, come on, man.
Yeah.
You don't know he's this badass muscle guy.
Right.
Right?
All right. So number 2, you make her cry, I make you cry.
Again, not on brand with John Ritter.
Number 3, safe sex is a myth. Anything you try will be hazardous to your health.
That's just bad parenting. That's just, I mean, they're going to have sex, right? So now you're turning them away from practicing safe sex.
Right. Now they're going to do it just to spite you,
Yeah.
Dad.
Well, it's not safe.
He's going to rot. Dad.
God, that word is so awesome. I hate it and love it.
All right. So number 4, you're looking at bring her home late. There's no next date. Notice how everything rhymes with these rules.
That's on John Ritter brand.
Yeah. Number 5, if you pull into my driveway and honk, you better be dropping off a package because you're sure not picking up anything else.
Who delivers stuff to your house? Who delivers stuff in honks?
I don't know.
No,
Usually they
UPS.
knock on
No,
the door.
no one.
Ring a doorbell.
For us,
something like
DoorDash?
Right.
Domino's in the time? Like that? No, that's not a
Sure.
thing.
It says alternative rule number 5, only delivery men honk, dates ring the doorbell once. That was 5.
Okay.
Honking.
Oh, okay.
All right. So number 6, no complaint. Waiting for her. If you're bored, change my oil. Change, not check.
Mm.
I don't know. If you know who John Ritter was, he might mean.
He
Something
did play a
completely
little
different.
fruity fruit on Three's Company.
Word?
At least to Mr. Furley, Mr. Roper, he
They
was.
believe
Right,
he was,
exactly.
Yeah. Number 7, hips. I'll gladly secure them with my stick.
Mm.
What
Yes.
a dick.
Assault.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, not on brand with
Nope,
John Ritter.
not at all.
And lastly, here, number 8 for 8 simple rules of dating my teenage daughter. Dates must be in crowded public places. You want romance? Read a book.
I like